Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank, mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on cocaine.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there.
And you're going to drink good beer.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God. Oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, everybody, it's another Monday. You know how I know that?
Because it's Monday?
Because we're here? Monday, yeah. Because the Romans, let me tell you, the Romans thousands of years ago decided that today would be Monday. So if you are pissed off that it's Monday and you hate Mondays, punch an Italian. That's their fault.
Before or after they kicked the Greeks' ass? When did they decide?
Look, let's not bring. Why you got to bring up old shit, dude? Like, this is well beyond that.
Right.
Hey, we won our independence.
Oh, you did?
I think so.
Or did just no one care?
Both.
Okay.
Both can happen.
Let them have it.
Yeah, they're like,
we win!
After 400 years or 800 years or whatever, they stole everything from my people.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
There's nothing left.
Let them have it.
We were used up.
They even changed their beer culture.
They even gave you a sense of victory.
It's true.
For getting it back.
Speaking of beer, I went to the
beer show?
The Oakland. No, it's never a beer show, dude. I went to the Oakland Greek Festival over the weekend with my family.
If you know anything about Oakland, you know there's a lot of Greeks there.
There's a huge. So those of you in the Bay Area, like you're driving through Oakland and there's that big gilded dome in the foothills somewhere. You would know.
Yeah.
That's the Greek Orthodox Church. It's right by the Mormon temple too.
Okay.
They have a giant Greek festival. So my Greek nephew and I went, and we waited in line for a lamb sandwich for 40 minutes.
Why did they do their Greek festival right after Greek Easter? They're using all their Greek events.
Well, Greek Easter,
back to back.
I think the Greek festival is like a stationary calendar year. Every time it's this weekend, the last weekend in May or whatever. But Greek Easter, because let me tell you, Warren, the Greeks actually use the original, the correct calculations for Easter. We don't have this westernized version of Easter. Yeah, it's not convenient. We're Orthodox. We want to make things as inconvenient as possible for us.
That sounds right.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
But 40 minutes for a lamb sandwich, dude.
Was it worth it?
Life-changing.
Oh.
Life-changing
Really?
lamb sandwich. Oh, my God.
So you do it again?
I would do it. I would do it right now. I would leave the show.
Oh.
And wait in line in Oakland for a lamb sandwich.
You would drive to Oakland.
Oh, God. Those Greeks know how to eat, man.
You know how to eat lamb.
Yeah, with the poor lamb.
Those people.
Right.
Poor lamb.
Yeah.
They had one on a spit. Like on a barbecue, like in a little cage or whatever.
Oh.
they slaughtered it to...
like Game of Thrones?
There was an offering to Dionysus and or Zeus or whomever.
Do they have other meat? All I ever hear Greeks eating is lamb.
Well, because lamb is the best.
They can't wait.
Oh, okay.
They're not patient people.
Well, I think
Yeah. How do they reproduce if they're only eating the lamb?
They're only eating lamb?
Yeah.
Well, no, they have chicken and pork, but lamb is good, man. With a lot of lemon.
Lemon?
You got to have a lot of lemon and a lot of oregano. And that's all you really need, man. Very simplified.
That in a 40-minute line.
In a 40-minute line.
Wow. Was there a beer in line with you? Was there had beer?
They had Greek beer. It's called Mythos.
Mythos.
And it's in a green bottle.
Was that imported or something? It was bottled beer. Okay.
Yeah, it's bottled beer.
Green bottle, that's good stuff.
Yeah, or they had Lagunitas IPA. So, of course, I opted for the Mythos. I got to support the brothers.
Sure.
And
what style was that?
A pill lager. Lager.
Nice.
Sure. Yeah. Of the skunked
So you can have a
subclass.
beer while you're in a 40-minute line.
Yeah.
And can you have a peaser, like somebody hold your spot for you? Did you have a line partner?
They're like a valet or something like like a
Bring me a
pawn.
bottle.
It wasn't bad, the beer. It wasn't very bad. It was kind of sweet. It wasn't skunked yet.
As long as it's fresh.
It was pretty fresh, yeah.
I wouldn't complain.
It was decent. And it's Greek.
And I would have had a Lagunitas IPA. I wouldn't have had the beer.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
Well, and I thought about it, too, and I'm like, well, look, I'm at a Greek festival.
No, you're right.
I got to be as
You're
authentic
getting a lamb
as
sandwich.
possible,
We can
right?
do it. Yeah, you got the right.
Yeah, dude. And little donut holes.
So who tipped you off to get into the line? Did you go right into the line?
No, I showed up and my nephew was already waiting in line. So he went around twice, actually. Because we showed up and we're like, I'm not really hungry, which is stupid. If you ever go to a Greek festival, never show up full.
It's a food event.
Yeah, show up hungry.
Yeah.
Because that's all there is to do is eat and listen to bad music.
Who's Greek?
I know.
Greek to you?
You made us listen to it last time.
I'll make you listen to it right now, too. I'm all Greeked out right now, Warren.
Shit. It's not Greek Easter, so I don't think you can play it.
Greek Easter. But it's good, though.
Good, huh? Well, I went to Beer Fest. I mean,
where'd you go?
That sounds better. Session Fest?
Yeah, the 4th annual Session Fest.
Oh, man.
Jack
Nice.
London Square. It's right
That's my
down there
jam.
on the Oakland Estuary.
That's the Drake's one, right?
Drake's
put that on?
One of the founders. Yeah, there's a charity involved in all that.
How was that?
It's great. Really nice day, and all the beers 5% or under.
Oh, man.
So you really had to work at it.
I forgot about that. I really wanted to go to that fest.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I think there was I think City Beer had their anniversary party. Not at City Beer, but at another place.
And wasn't there a Fort Mason Beer Festival,
and then there was
too,
the
happening?
International Beer Festival.
Yeah, I had tickets for that, too. I didn't go. Or I could have gone, but I didn't go.
And then there was some sort of beer event in Sacramento, some sort of invitational beer festival.
Well, and then there was the Greek festival.
And a Greek festival.
Oh, yeah.
Probably all kinds of festivals. Doc, was there a dentist festival?
No, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Flossing festival.
Yeah.
Flossing.
Any good beers at the Session Fest?
What did
Anything
I
that
like?
stood out?
I actually liked the Drake's Hefeweizen, which is kind of weird.
Really?
Well,
You don't
John
seem like a
Galuli, the brewmaster, poured it for me, and it was like, obviously it was like the first pour off the keg. It was just like really yeasty. So he ran a few off, and it was still pretty yeasty. And I go, let me have it. Let me taste it. And it tasted great. I think it was the best beers I had all day, and it was way too yeasty. But it didn't have a yeast flavor. It's weird.
Huh. Well, you're into that shit now. So.
Whatever. Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah. That makes me wonder about those beers. Maybe I can't taste the yeast in them. I keep saying if it doesn't settle in a hazy beer, then it's not yeast. If it settles, it's yeast.
Well, we'll get into that. There's a lot of feedback.
Now we know people are listening.
Right. There's a lot of feelings.
We should stop talking so they quit sending those letters.
Yeah. It's weird that people have a lot of things to say on the internet.
Well, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Aren't we on the internet?
It's true. Yeah, it's weird that we have a lot of things to say, Warren.
Oh. I guess we're doing it right now.
Yeah, we might be. We have a good show for you guys. Marshall is back from Brulosophy.com.
I know that dude.
We're here. He's going to be on to talk about a couple of experiments that he's doing. We actually have some beers to try, not at this break, but the next break. But I might.
The blind tasting thing?
Blind tasting thing, yeah. And then we have a little survey to fill out. And then when we come back from the break, he's going to give us our results and tell us what we were actually trying to solve.
Oh, man.
which would be kind of cool. And then we're going to talk. He did a recent experiment on fermenter shape.
Oh, cool.
Because we've talked on the show, and Jamil said it before, and there's a couple, now I forget the guy's name, the guy who died, wrote a book, Fermentation Design, or Noonan, Greg Noonan,
Greg
I think,
Noonan?
yeah.
I don't know if he's a doctor.
I thought he was.
He might be. I don't know.
Maybe it's the wrong guy. Anyway, there was some guy in the early 2000s, I think, who wrote like a book on fermentation design, and he was like the...
You're talking about George Fix.
There you go.
The doctor is George Fix.
Dr. Fix, yeah. And he said that corny kegs were a poor shape to ferment in at a 5-gallon level because you don't get a lot of yeast arousal, and you can kind of get higher gravities than normal and whatever. So I think that's what Marshall was working on. Anyway, so we're going to talk to him a little bit about that and kind of what he found from his tasting.
They're good to condition in, though, I think.
Yeah, they're good at conditioning, but I think
like a bright tank.
Yeah, exactly. For a bright tank, sure.
Yeah.
But
I can see fermenting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's
we'll
half
find
full
out.
though. Maybe you could be like.
I mean,
like when I use the Zymatic, I could do like a 2.5 gallons in a 5-gallon fermenter. That would probably be okay.
That would probably be okay. And I haven't done that yet. Actually, I picoed. Or I Zymatic. Friday, actually. I did a Grodzitsky.
The same one?
Same one. Same one.
Sure.
No, the first time I did, I'd never fucking kegged it because I hate kegging.
Is it still in the carboy?
No, I dumped it out.
Oh.
And cleaned. No, actually, it is still in the carboy.
Hey, we can side by side them.
Yeah.
It's dead but not buried.
But it was a smoked oak smoked wheat malt.
Oh, I had one of those beers.
And that's all. It's just 4 pounds of that, and then I used
all smoked malt.
All smoked malt,
sure.
And then for hops, instead of going like Hallertau or whatever, I used German Mandarina.
Oh. New one.
I feel like it would be, I don't know, maybe those flavors would be kind of cool. I don't know.
Did the smoke override that flavor, or was it
I don't know.
lightly smoked? Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's fermented.
I haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
I had a beer
good.
that was 100% smoked malt at the Session Fest. And I don't like smoked beers.
Yeah.
That's why you guys made me make that one now. and I said, I'm probably not going to like it. I'm saying right to this guy. This is one of the homebrews. It was a homebrew tent. And I tasted it. I was like, wow, yeah, it's smoky, but not too smoky. It's amazing how light it was. All oak smoke. It was the Wireman oak smoke.
That's the same malt I use.
Anyway.
I think it's, I don't know, and I may be totally wrong because I'm not very smart, but I think if you use 100% oak smoked malt, it's not that smoky.
No,
I think you drive a lot of it off.
Yeah.
Or maybe
it was
stupid.
the other one, the beechwood or whatever.
And different woods have different
that's
phenols,
true too, yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Like the
So
Rauch
stronger.
or the peat smoke is a lot stronger than the oak smoke.
Sure, yeah. And like beechwood and all the other woods that they're smoking.
There's not if you have more than 25% smoked malt of those other ones, it's a really smoky beer.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, super
He
smoky.
told me it was 100% smoked malt. I go like, oh man, I'm not going to like this at all. It's going to be like a sausage.
Yeah.
Drink that sausage, baby. All right, before we get too far afield, which is probably too late, I want to run through a couple things. I want you guys to support the people who support us. We literally would not be on the radio here without our fine sponsors. So anybody here that you hear on the radio tonight, go ahead and click on their website, man, and buy their product and tell other people about them, and then tell them that you heard about them through us. It would go a long way. It'd mean a lot to us, and that'd be pretty cool. You can also support us by doing your Amazon shopping via our link that's on our homepage there, as well as hitting up the store and buying some hella sick merch. Hella sick. If you guys are going to HomebrewCon, which is in a couple of short weeks here, don't forget about BNA 11, our 11th anniversary. Tickets are still on sale at bna11.eventbrite.com. There will be a live band, plus Justin and I will be doing a live game of Find the Fake. A live game of Find the Fake, plus, there's two pluses for you counting at home. A brand new game that's never been played ever before by any one of the Being Alive times ever. Whoa. This is a brand new game. We came up with it, and we're going to debut it on stage at BNA 11. So you really don't want to miss it. Go to bna11.eventbrite.com. Brought to you by Nico Brew and Hop Tech.
So much for nothing under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Right? Because you just said there's a brand new game, but we've already played all the games.
I don't know. I'm lost. I'm confused by you.
There's nothing new under the sun. That's what I was told.
From what?
Everything. That's what I've always been told that.
Turn Warren's mic off. Just kidding. I don't know. I still love you, though, Warren.
It's all right.
It is all
It's all right.
Let's do some feedback, Doc.
Yay.
Okay.
Like that.
Here we go. Like I said, there's a lot of feedback, guys, so get a beer and, settle in. Cheers, brewcasters. I really enjoy the show, and it makes the workday go by much faster with 3 to 4 hours of the session, sometimes once a week. However, I'm with others in saying that the hate for cloudy beers is unwarranted. JP and even the Australian author of Bronzed Brews, like I didn't bother to look up his name at all, he just wrote out, have mentioned that if the beer is cloudy, then it's obviously the brewer made a mistake and is just trying to hide it. I can't say that is 100%. Excuse me. I can say that it is 100% false in most cases. Then you can't say that it's whatever. Hetty Topper out of Vermont is likely the genesis of the cloudy IPA phenomena, and to call that beer disgusting, as JP said, is just plain ignorant. That's ignorant. That brewery has sustained and grown itself for years, producing that one beer alone. Other breweries in the Northeast, such as Treehouse, Trillium, etc., and even breweries here in the South, I'm in Louisiana, such as Parrish, are making phenomenal beers. Well, it's not ignorant if I think it's disgusting and I call it disgusting. That's my opinion. It's not an ignorant opinion. I've had the beer and I think it's gross.
And if you don't like the flavor of diacetyl and you taste a beer with diacetyl in it, that doesn't make you ignorant for not liking that beer or having diacetyl.
Yeah, my contrary opinion is not ignorant. It's just that's what it is based on my the 1 out of 1 tasting panel I've done. Parrish has 3 hopped up beers, blah blah blah. The double IPA sits on the shelf an average of 3 hours before it's bought out. So to say these beers are terrible is simply A, ignorant. Ignorant. It's ignorant. You're ignorant. And B, misinformed. It's misinformed. To go off of the sample that we actually tasted in the studio is apparently now misinformed.
So then, are we always misinformed?
Apparently, even with our even with our life experience, is now misinformed.
So even when I like a beer, I'm misinformed.
Yes.
Oh,
because you've had it.
That means I don't know anything about it.
You're ignorant.
Right.
The difference, in my opinion, between these cloudy IPAs and the West Coast is that the cloudy beers simply aren't filtered. Yeah. Any homebrewer knows of the haze of non-filtered or non-cold crashed homebrew. I quit cold crashing my own IPA because I like the color, haze, and hoppiness of these unfiltered beers. In short, too late. I believe the cloudy beer haters are simply West Coast homers for their own style.
Homos? Homers.
Wait.
I feel like there's been other beers in history that have been clear. That didn't just come from the West Coast.
Those are conditioned beers.
You think so?
They should say unfiltered, unconditioned, which means we didn't filter it and we didn't wait for gravity to do it for us. We put it in your glass
There's
first.
a phone call coming in.
Yeah.
JP called it a fad and that these beers must be mistakes because they aren't to style. West Coast style IPAs weren't to style when they were first introduced. Does that make those beers mistakes? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's a fad that caught on. That's my insert opinion. The fact is that the cloudy IPAs are fantastic beers, and the retail sales of these beers prove it. If you want to hate on it because you aren't used to IPAs looking like that, well, then that's on you. I do. But don't suggest that the brewers and breweries who have great success making these beers are only leaving them cloudy because they screwed up somewhere along the lines. It's simply not true. Blah, blah, blah. This is from Aaron from Louisiana. I'm not saying that every cloudy IPA is because the brewer screwed up. I think that was kind of the impetus for it. I think like Hetty Topper, like this guy's saying, they're pushing out, they're turning around beer too fast, I think. They've created a style or created a sub-style of a beer that allows people to come in and buy it a lot more quickly. It has a faster turnaround time, which is genius marketing. It's all marketing, and then it caught on, and that's fine. I'm not saying that everybody who's making these beers can't brew. I'm saying that it is flawed brewing, and their marketing flaws in what we know as beer. I mean you can't argue with that. A cloudy beer should not be cloudy unless by style definition it is. So you can't say that it's not a flaw because it is a flaw. I'm not saying they make shitty beer. I think it looks gross.
What if there was another style definition? What if they said, okay, there's cloudy IPA? Bam.
Yeah, then great.
Okay, then again, conversation over then.
Yeah, I think that's what they want.
That's what they want.
New England IPA.
So what we need to do here is consider acknowledging the style, which I have. I drink them. I have them quite a bit. There's some women waving.
Have you liked any of them?
Yeah. I made myself like, get over the haziness, not pay attention to what I'm drinking, and try it. Sort of like, I'll put like 2 beers in front. Yeah, I'll order 2 beers, one cloudy, one not. Have them kind of switch them up. So I'll close my eyes, and I could tell, but I can see why people might prefer the softer edges associated with the hazy beer, as compared to the crisper edges associated with the clear beer. I could see that
because you can even taste the difference, even if you don't know, like you would still be able to pick it out.
These weren't the same beer, but they're similar beers.
Yeah.
I looked and go same ABV, they're hops okay, same brewery. Like I can see this being a fair thing. I'm just looking for more for the mouthfeel and the texture, kind of thing.
Which that's part of my issue is just I don't like that mouthfeel and texture that adds.
You can see why they call it juicy. It's got maybe has the body of a juice that has more in suspension.
Yeah.
Bev?
Line 1 is Roberto from HopTech.
Roberto! Let's get him on the line. Roberto, my friend.
Yes, JP, my wonderful friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
It's a wonderful day. We just got back from a wonderful trip up brewing beer in numerous places. But, to the heart of my story.
Yes, sir.
HopTech. Okay.
You all right?
That's a great story. Tell us another one.
That was the heart of it.
Tell me the second story.
I have to catch my breath there. Okay.
Yep, you got to slow down.
Wednesday will be HopTech's 6th anniversary under the new ownership, which is us.
Oh, cool!
Wow.
Which is really cool. And on that same day, there's going to be a tap takeover at our local beer hangout, which is 3 Sheets on Village Parkway in Dublin, California. What happened was we did a collaboration with 8 Bridges. 8 Bridges Brewing is going to do the tap takeover, and so they are going to be featuring my recipe brewed on their system. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going big time, Bubba.
You're the real deal, Roberto.
What time does that whole thing start?
Yes, we're looking at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock for a tap takeover.
Okay. Nice. 6 o'clock, Dublin, California, for you Bay Area folks, this coming Wednesday, a couple days.
Yes, please. And, and we brewed that beer. I actually helped them. So it was nice. It was cool.
What kind of beer is it?
Imperial Red, all Chinook. So some of you guys might recognize it as Total Chinooky.
Sounds like a celebration.
I drugged it around to a couple of the San Diego NECs.
Yeah.
To my arrogant bastard phone. But I think we did it a little better.
Ooh, that sounds great.
I look forward to trying it.
What's the beer called? Did you say already? I'm sorry.
Total Chinooky.
Oh, okay. Well, if I get there Wednesday and you're not there, I'll know what to order. Okay.
All right, Roberto, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Everyone in the Bay Area, check it out.
Congratulations on 6 years.
You.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. And thank you to all you BN supporters. I mean, we couldn't have done it without you guys.
Well,
Cheers,
we
man.
can't do a lot without you, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I love you guys.
All right, love
Bye.
you too. Bye, man. Roberto.
Guys are awesome.
All right. This is another one. This is from Clint. He says, I know this will be too long to read on air, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I wanted to comment on the anti-Northeast IPA, or New England? Yeah, there you go. IPA trend that the BN has been going on lately. To be fair, Tasty, who is apparently more open-minded than everyone else, sounds like he's beginning to see the light and that these beers aren't just yeasty messes.
Not through the beer.
But rather an interesting concoction of yeast and hop biotransformations, which lend a unique take on the hoppy style.
I don't like it already.
I'm sure there is yeast present in these beers due to their intended quick turnaround, but the yeast is not the main attraction nor a brewing flaw. Well, I mean, I beg to differ, dude. Look at the style. Right. It's just, that's all.
I think the issue is that it's a distraction.
Right.
Not a main attraction.
I agree.
Who would want to go there for the main attraction?
To a person that drinks clear beer, it's definitely a distraction.
Totally.
Yeah, it's just like I'd much rather taste the beer
as the beer
underneath
comes
this.
up to your mouth, you just can't help but notice, like, what's going on?
It looks like dishwater.
I was like, I grabbed the milk, I thought. Right. But at the same time, if you say all you drank was Hefeweizens, and now you're
you wouldn't care.
You just want to step 1 foot into the IPA world, and these being so muddled have taken the edge off all that, bitterness.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is like a game that makes the
It's a
beer a gateway
crossover.
beer.
Okay.
Maybe they shouldn't be called IPAs. I agree. I don't know. That's a fair question. Not sure what other style descriptor would work best for these beers. I mean, I don't know. I think like Tasty said, call them unfiltered. Don't call them juicy because that's stupid.
No,
and
that could be a good attribute. Like juicier the better.
Well, I think part of the reason why I don't like them, and we have been kind of bagging on too much without having a decent selection of them. So I will acquiesce to that point. But I think part of the problem is there's people out there claiming that it's not yeast. It's yeast.
Well,
there's yeast.
There are other
yeast in
things
there.
too.
Well, there's other things in there, but there's yeast in there. People are saying there's no, but doesn't the yeast kind of hang on to the hop oils? And if the hops are in suspension, the yeast is in suspension.
The yeast should go to the bottom and take the hop oils with them. Yeah. That's the problem with having a lot of yeast.
I've seen a lot. I've actually had people send me cans of these beers, and that they pour out like pictures, and it's literally sludge in a can of beer. And to me, that's gross, and it's a misrepresentation of a product. But look, you like it, I don't, and that's whatever. Move on.
That's what people expect. That's the way it's been. They bought into all that.
And who cares if they can't be shipped long distances or that packaging and stability could be problematic? The same could be said for many artisanal foods or produce. Yeah. Artisanal produce?
He must like performance art.
Right.
Organic food may not last as long as pesticides.
Yeah, he listens to Muse on repeat over and over again. The problem is that I suspect if it were Firestone... This is my favorite part. This is why I read this email. The problem is that I suspect if it were Firestone Walker or Faction or Rare Barrel or some other super hyped California brewery that you guys are always verbally blowing that introduced these style of beers, you'd be all over yourselves in love with them, with the exception of JP, who hates anything with more than 2 hot pellets in it. That's incorrect. And on that note, JP constantly talks about how boring IPAs are. And then when brewers finally start to do something different with them, and he can't talk shit about them fast enough. Make up your mind, douchebag. Yes, they're different. Is that bad? No, they're different, but in my opinion, they're different in the wrong way. I sometimes get the feeling that's more about hating on non-West Coast brewers doing something innovative than not actually liking the beer. Maybe I'm way off base. It just seems strange that all the hate is coming from the West Coast.
Huh.
Anyhow, thanks, Clint.
Rare Barrel has a sour, dry hop beer that is cloudy.
Yeah, a lot of their beers are hazy and cloudy.
Right. I mean, that's part of the nature of sour beer with all the bacteria and stuff that's floating in there.
But that's not the focal point of the.
I can see I can see one of the big guys, Firestone Walker or Stone, whatever, possibly making a hazy beer. Just not filtering it, basically.
And I would feel the same way about it. As any beer coming from the East Coast.
I don't know. I mean, the chat room's kind of...
I wouldn't be like, I just feel like, well, I'm not going to have that. I'd rather have the clear beer. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
see that as a East or West Coast bias.
Yeah.
It's a beer bias.
And of course it's not a East or West Coast beer bias. But people on the East Coast are like the little brother who demand respect after a while, and they think that they're paranoid. All the bad press has to be coming from the older brother.
Well, that's just a normal human response.
Yeah.
Us versus them.
I don't have... I'm completely objective.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I assume everybody else is, and that's my mistake.
Well, and the chat room likes to complain a lot too, and I don't know, what are they talking about? Who knows? Who cares?
Probably not what we're talking about.
Probably not what we're talking about. Penises or whatever. Anyway, hello, Brewcasters. This is from Burns. He says, while on the long drive home from work today, I was listening to the radio, and they were going on about the Olympics that will be happening later on this year. This reminded me of one of the funniest BN shows I've had the pleasure of listening to, the Lunch Meat Olympics. Now, we all know your views on the return of lunch meat, but I put this to you. How about the Session Olympics? The long pee, the long burp, and the good bad beer chug. Now that was some quality radio. If this idea stinks, you could please at least give a shout out to a bunch of breweries in Western Australia. Let's see, the Kalgoorlie Craft Brewers, the Beaten Track Brewery. It's well worth the trip from Perth. He says, thanks for the great shows. The Session Olympics will not be happening, but you can put the Lunch Meat Olympics on repeat. like that other guy does with Muse. This is from Spencer. He says, Dear JP, I was in the shower this morning, and I'm not sure why, but I was thinking about your hate for hazy IPAs and how it makes me laugh when people take offense to your opinion. I came up with a great idea. The BN should start a Kickstarter campaign to buy these breweries some DE filters. I would pledge some cash just to see the comments from the turbid IPA fanboys. Anyway, keep up the good work. And, oh, yeah, bring back the Amazon product of the week. Nah, that won't happen either. Bevo, here's a show idea. Book a brewery from the Northeast that produces hazy beer. Yeah, Bevo, that's a good idea. Don't do it.
You should do it.
Yeah, we probably will. We will eventually. Don't worry.
I'd say like about 5 years ago, maybe 6, breweries around here were putting out an unfiltered IPA.
Pyramid had one.
Yeah, I think
long
maybe
time ago.
Yeah, and it didn't catch on. I remember seeing them and drinking them, and I remember a lot of people liking them, like that thought they were really better than the clear beers.
Yeah,
but yeah, it just never caught on out here.
No, they didn't.
Could have been the brewery that
it could have been.
And then maybe the quality of the beer, particular beers that were being made that way.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm willing to try them. I keep telling people who write in, I'm willing to try these beers, but we don't have them here. We just don't. I mean, Monkish is now doing them. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think it's just a marketing tool. These people don't like these beers. This is my opinion. It's my opinion.
I think
they don't like these beers.
No, the people that are liking them.
But they would rather produce clear beers. It's my opinion, because you go to brewing school, you're producing clear beers. That's what you're trained to do. Anything that has a haze or a cloudy issue, you're trained that's a flaw and that shouldn't be happening. They don't want to. Well, I'm generalizing, but there's some people I think that are making these beers just because that's what's selling.
Well, I think
you got to put yourself in the head of the average beer drinker. There's no marketing for him to see other than what he sees when he goes out to the places he drinks.
I think that's wrong, though.
There's no message being delivered.
Are you kidding me?
He's just ordering his beer
on the bottles, on the cans, in every magazine.
Well, I'm talking about this hazy clear issue.
Okay, all right, sorry.
Right, he orders the beer. They don't tell if they don't. Doesn't say it's a hazy beer. Maybe it does. Maybe the name implies that. He doesn't get it. He gets it. He tries it. He likes the beer. It's just better than the beer that he had yesterday, or the one he just had before that. I
don't know.
It's an unbiased opinion.
I think it's different. I don't think it's better. But again, I haven't had too many of them.
You're not the masses, right?
You're right.
If you're making beer, if you're selling beer, if you're in the beer industry, you got to sell to the 90%, not the 10% that have spent their 25 to 35 years, that age group. Yeah. And now they're older, and now they've learned a lot and remembered it. They're in a special group. Yeah. Most of those that go through the 25 to 35 years old, at 35, a few years, they forgot everything.
Yeah.
We're hanger-oners. Yeah. We're in a small group.
It's true.
I think it was something that was born out of an accident, that either it was a production limitation, like, well, we need to sell this beer.
Yeah, we got to get it out the
We got to get out the door. Right. Like, who cares if it's cloudy? Which is not a great motivation, but then it's sold. People liked it. Like, do it again.
I agree.
They said we like it better than the clear one.
Right. And
what are you going to do?
I think that's the problem there is that, hey, maybe your regular IPA is too bitter.
That's what I've been saying that for like 6 months.
Or too bitter for the customer.
Well, right, no, exactly.
At that point on their timeline.
Right.
Again,
yeah.
It's too bitter, and
25
so it
to 35-year-olds are drinking all the beer. Every year there's a whole new set of 25 show up.
Yeah.
What do they know? Shit.
If you like a cloudy beer or a turbid IPA, you don't like IPAs.
Yeah.
You don't like
exactly.
IPAs.
You haven't had it yet.
Pale ale, but you like saying the word IPA.
Right, exactly. It's just a way for everybody to drink an IPA.
Exactly. Okay, let's put it to bed. This one is from Doc's over here.
Good reading those.
This one is from Brandon. He says 4 things. It's a little long, but I don't care. Hello, gentlemen and lady. I'm assuming he's talking about you, Doc. I'm writing to give some...
Excuse me?
He has one on his lap.
I'm writing to give some feedback, as well as to deliver the typical, I just signed up to be a recurring donor email.
I'll apply for that.
This is kind of long, but I feel entitled since I started donating.
He's paying for it now.
I know he's entitled.
An incredibly small amount of money monthly today. Number one, after years of listening and on long bus rides where I talked Moscow's ear off after having too much Pliny in San Diego last year, I decided to become a reoccurring donor and finally did so this morning while I was doing the thing that I swore I would never do, get up super early on Sunday to brew while my family slept. I'm not sure what it says about myself. Then the revelation came after I canceled my long unused gym membership, and I was deciding who to donate the money to now that I wasn't donating it to 24 Hour Fitness anymore. Yeah, I'd much rather us be your stupid techs than 24 Hour Fitness. That's for sure.
Right.
2, I'm a scientist, not a business person, so I may be wrong, but it seems like terrible marketing when Justin complains about doing the show and takes long, unexplained hiatuses. I understand getting burned out, but maybe a better cover story would be better for the morale of us listeners. Here are a few suggestions. A, Justin is on rehab.
Works.
B, Justin is on a spiritual journey somewhere in the mountains of Nepal.
Me.
See, you got the location wrong.
Right.
Justin is laying low after an incredible night, which may or may not have led him to becoming a, quote, person of interest to the Concord police. Or D, Justin died. I know this might be awkward when he comes back, but he already kind of does look like Jesus, so I think most of us would go with it. Number 3, JP is a fantastic host. If I could muster up any fucks to give about Disney, I would listen to Ears Up just to hear him grace the airwaves even more. Well, I appreciate that.
That's hard.
It's fucking tough, dude. I just spit everywhere. Number 4, the third most important reason I listen to the session now is to see if you can get someone to pee on someone else. Those are the days.
I feel like we've succeeded in life.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I think we can do it again.
That's from Brandon, Chicago. Matt says, I'm responding to the episode on 5/9/16 in regards to the Twitter game. JP did not know what DPT is. I feel obligated to inform him that DPT stands for Doctor of Physical Therapy. You probably don't care. Fuck you. Your show is awesome. Have a great night. I'm drunk. Okay, bye.
Did you look up the tweet that he's talking about?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. This is from Dave. He says, hello, Brewcasters. After listening to the Rheingeist interview, I'm thoroughly impressed. For caveat, I know nothing about radio production. You know, a great interview when... Did we get negged? Is that a neg?
Yeah, he's like, you did a great job, but I'm not qualified to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, a great interview when you forget it's an interview. And it feels like you're at a pub waxing about beer, and this was it. And the interviewee sounded totally comfortable, and JP sounded like he genuinely liked the beer. I did. I thought Jim Matt, I believe was his name. Mm-hmm. They're making some good beer wherever it was. Having listened to many years of interviews, the best ones happen when the beer is good. Or I'm full of crap. Great job, JP. I'm really growing to like the Justin-less format. Keep it up. That's Dave.
Yeah. Or I might not.
Or he doesn't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Keep in mind, I don't know shit.
Right, yeah.
But I love this thing.
Yeah, no one listens to me.
This next one is from James. He says, totally being honest here, JP is a better host than Justin. I don't agree with that. JP, great job hosting, buddy. Justin, sorry, pal. Also, suck it, JP. And this is all in caps. Also, you fuckers never told me what the song in the Drake's commercial was, you fucking slapdicks.
Oh.
We never knew. I think Jay was going to find it. Tell you what, email Drake's.
They'll know?
Yeah.
I'll get a response faster from them.
It was one of their guys' band.
It was one of their guys' bands. Yeah, I think it was the brewer,
right.
Brian. Is that a guy over at Drake's Tasty? Brian?
Brian Brunfer?
Yeah.
I can get it.
I think that was his. Anyway, email Drake's.
It was.
Email Drake's, James. They'll
produced his spot or something, too.
Yeah. It was his. Yeah. Okay, 2 more. Sorry, guys. It's a long one. This is from Chris. He says, so I've been listening to you all rant about cloudy IPAs, and I think we get the point. The conversation recently has been repetitive without sinking out a counterpoint. From my perspective, there are several good breweries, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
That almost sounded like a counterpoint.
Almost. JP hates every IPA, so why is he all of a sudden complaining about a style he already doesn't like? Because I'm in the beer industry.
It's a new one to hate on.
Yeah, it's a new one to hate on. Right. And in case you didn't realize this, Chris, we put on a radio show,
right?
And we need things to talk about, and we need to put out opinions, and we need to engage you, and it sounds like we are. So just relax.
And we got black IPAs to go away. So
we did that.
We did that.
And I think this show is the rise of the session beer.
That's why we call it the session, right?
Right. We've been talking about session beers for like 6 fucking years on this show. And the past 3 years, now suddenly everyone's all about the session IPA or the session beer train.
Hey, have you had this low alcohol beer?
Brewing Network.
I just made it.
Just saying. Why is haze a sign of bad brewing practices? Dude, come on. Traditional wheat
It's
beer,
in the archives.
Yeah.
Right, there's 10 years.
Traditional wheat beer is cloudy. Many of these IPAs have a high percentage of wheat, oats, or other haze-inducing adjuncts. Why is haze acceptable within a wheat beer, but when you add more hops to a wheat beer and call it an IPA, all of a sudden it becomes unacceptable? Because it's not to style. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying these things are errors in style. I'm not saying that people can't brew.
Well, again, can't we all agree, though, that once we create a style...
Make a new style for it. I don't care.
Then it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter.
If somebody says, they're just misclassifying it. They want us to...
Be back on this again.
A clear beer drinker wants it...
Really?
Yeah.
Give me feedback, man. What am I going to do?
Just don't read it
Gloss
anymore.
over it.
It's the same arguments and everything.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. Yeah. We get it, he says. You guys don't like him.
Get JP all revved up again. Come on.
Hey, JP, it's Mikey from Perth. These last couple Justinless weeks have really taught me something. Lunch Meat was the most special show because of you. You and Waron, W-A-R-O-N, should do a show together. Actually, you and Waron should do a show together.
Oh, it's a question.
I'd listen to it.
Also a question?
Also Bevo.
She doesn't know she's...
Oh, so just like last week?
Right.
Basically the Homebrew All-Stars episode over and over. Be in Skeleton Crew. I like all the questions. I'd listen to it.
I missed that. I was in the book. You could have misread that.
Wow, all these people writing us don't know what they're talking about.
In that show.
Yeah.
You did.
There's even a shirt about it.
There's even a shirt about it.
I saw the shirt.
That
shirt.
All right. Sorry. I promise in the future to not go on and on about Cloudy IPA. But
promise me I'll get a beer soon.
It was a lot of feedback. So what am I going to do? I got to read everyone's feedback.
Yeah. People have opinions.
I don't like editing feedback.
That was a representative percentage of the feedback, I see.
Yeah.
I like all of it.
Warren, do we have a Twitter game today?
Yes.
Twitter game today is brought to you by Beer Law Center, who was supposed to bring you feedback, but I didn't read my notes. Beer Law Center, go to John at Beer Law Center. If you have a patent or a trademark issue, or you want to open a brewery, he can help you do all that kind of paperwork and stuff, too. BeerLawCenter.com. John's great, wears a bow tie, handsome guy. He's in the South somewhere, but don't fault him for that. He loves it, and he does a really good job. He's a nice dude. He'll help you out a lot. BeerLawCenter.com.
Since obviously we had some feedback, people concerned about Justin's whereabouts, I figured we would leave it up to you guys, because since he's got all this free time, he's been actually feeling pretty philanthropic. And so he's actually starting a charity.
Oh.
And so he's just looking for a name, and he's actually also looking for the purpose of his charity also.
Okay, so he wants to see, he's been spending time with the charity, but he wants to have a direction for it. And
right.
Well, so the name might include the charity itself.
While he's been sitting alone, he's been deciding
the National Association.
Right. He's been deciding
guys that whack off
put his energy into helping.
Oh my gosh, the only thing I could think of was some sort of masturbatory thing.
We're on the same page. You got him nailed.
Hey,
does he listen to the show? No, he never listens to it when he's on it.
Promoting
safe
driving with a hands-free masturbator helper.
Oh.
Yeah, like some sort of fleshlight or something.
Yeah. So what is Justin's new charitable cause?
What is Justin's new charitable cause?
Yeah, that's
and
really
what's the direction of it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got to get that in too. Get a good name, get a good direction.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've accomplished a lot here today.
I think so. I'm really proud of this.
Bye.
All right, everyone. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Marshall from Brulosophy.com, talking about fermenters, talking about beer, talking about a whole bunch of stuff. It's The Session. Hang on. We'll be right back.
Good.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing. Last year, on the first Saturday in May, 11,000 participants brewed more than 19,000 gallons of beer. It's National Homebrew Day. This year, on May 7th, fellow homebrewers around the world will join in the global celebration of the greatest hobby there is, homebrewing. The American Homebrewers Association encourages you to be a part of this epic brew day. Go to homebrewersassociation.org and click on Big Brew, National Homebrew Day. There you'll find this year's official recipes for extract and all grain brewers. If you're going to host a public event, register it as well. The AHA provides promotional materials like posters, Zymergy magazine, and display signs. And don't forget to raise a glass at noon Central Time for a worldwide simultaneous toast to homebrewing. Big Brew on National Homebrew Day. Be a part of it this May 7th. Visit homebrewersassociation.org for more details. Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making. Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff. Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers. It's freaking awesome. Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
Brewcasters are back. 888-401-BEER.
Whatever.
All right, thanks for hanging on, everybody. Well, we get Marshall on the line here. I want to talk to you guys about a new book that the Brewers Publications is putting out. It's called Wood and Beer, a Brewer's Guide, written by Dick Cantwell and Peter Buchart. It's now available. The use of wooden vessels for storage, transportation, fermentation, or aging of beer is deeply rooted in history. Today's talented brewers are innovating, experimenting, and enthusiastically embracing the seemingly mystical complexity, of flavors and aromas derived from wood. From the souring effects of microbes that take up residence in wood to the character drawn from barrels or foeders, this book covers the history, physiology, microbiology, and flavor contributions of wood, as well as the maintenance of wooden vessels. Explore the many influences of wood as a vehicle for contributing tremendous complexity to beers fermented and aged within it. Wood and Beer, a brewer's guide, is about both wood and beer and the mysteries that arise when the two come together. I got the book right here. It looks pretty cool, man.
Wow, that's a big book.
It's a lot of good detail, some cool photos, too. It has an intro forward by Frank Boone from Boone Lambic.
Oh, so they didn't ask you?
They didn't ask me. No, and so I don't know. This is okay. This is how crazy I am. Because, I wrote an article years ago for Zymergy.
Oh, wow.
About...
of course you did. I read it.
Right. Several times. You built your whole life around it.
I actually have it framed on my wall.
I'll sign it for you.
It's in the annals of beer history.
It's in
the annals. So,
it's probably in the anuses of brewing history. And it was on oak and homebrew.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember that.
I totally just fucking caught myself looking in the bibliography to see if he referenced my article. Because it's life-changing, Warren.
Right. Did he?
No.
Well, then he plagiarized.
He did.
So you should lawyer up.
It was my idea. Where's John?
Right, yeah.
I'm about
Beer
to
Law
call John
Center.
from beerlawcenter.com, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's a really cool book. They did a lot of good job. And a lot of good job.
They
did a really good job. There's a lot of weird sketches and drawings, but a lot of clinical information. And there's a really cool chart. There's a section in here from homebrewers, actually. And there's a chart about what kind of oak to use when, like spirals, cubes, oak, staves, powders, how to clean it, how to prepare it, the contact time, that kind of stuff, which I don't think has ever really been in one thing before.
That's very, very valuable. And those guys are both experts. So it should be a really good book.
Totally. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Anyway, Brewers Publications called Wood and Beer, a Brewer's Guide. But now we have Marshall on the line. Marshall, are you here, buddy?
I am here.
How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you back after the first show that we did. People dug it, and I dug it too.
Yeah.
We like doing the homebrew thing around here, and you seem to be doing it the best. So we'll have you on every now and then, man, and we'll just chat about what's new.
What an honor.
Yeah. You like that?
Are you really going to embarrass us this time? Is that why you didn't want to be here in person?
Yeah. War on. Yeah, that's my plan is I was going to send something that would definitely not embarrass you, and I ran out of beer, and so I'm sending you something that may possibly embarrass you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I will be a war on then.
According to Pivo,
right. Right. So what's new in the Brulosophy headquarters, man? You've had a few new posts and experiments since you've been on last.
Yeah, every Monday we've kept up with publishing a new experiment every Monday. We're doing some new stuff every Thursday, so a couple articles every week that we're pushing out there. We just brought on Jake Houlihan, who was writing for another experimental blog. He'll be writing for us now and contributing experimental articles. He'll be focusing on the Hop Chronicles, which is an experimental hop project we've got going on. So all kinds of fun stuff. And NHC coming up, or HomebrewCon.
Yeah, please get it right.
Oh, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
So just looking forward to that, having a good time.
That's great, man. That's awesome. So we're going to chat with you a little bit about your most recent experiment with something to do with fermenters. What was this all about? Talk to me. Teach me. Learn me things.
I'm going to learn you real quick.
Thank you.
So about a year or so ago, maybe a little over that, I did a comparison of a 6-gallon plastic carboy, which are becoming popular. Mine isn't of the better bottle sort, but it's similar. And I compared that to a plastic bucket, and surprisingly, out of a small sample size of 10 people, 7 were able to distinguish the beer that was fermented in the carboy. And so
really?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I have no idea why. I couldn't tell you why that was the case, but inspired by that and kind of curious how other types of fermenters might change the character of beer, we recently compared 6-gallon plastic carboy to a 6.5-gallon glass carboy.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have the results of that yet?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again. I don't think I really fully digested what you just said.
I know. Here, let me just everybody breathe.
Okay.
We did plastic carboy compared to a glass carboy. It sounds like the stupidest idea, right?
Same size, relatively the same shape.
It should be fine.
You didn't let that info.
You always make a wort. Same wort goes into both, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Same wort goes into both, and I even gently stir while I'm transferring to each carboy, so it gets the same amount of kettle tube.
Very similar, right? Same temperature, everything's the same.
Oh yeah, they're right next to each other.
Would there be a difference in temperature? I mean, the glass might be a better insulator than the plastic. Maybe one might get the ups and downs more than the other. Maybe.
Potentially, that was one of my concerns, was that the glass might be a better insulator, and so I've got these really high tech sticky things that I put on the carboy.
Oh yeah,
Post-it notes.
I'm getting a lot of confidence in you, Marshall.
Yes.
Thanks, Tasty.
You're answering this very well.
You're doing great.
Yeah, so I put this sticky thing on there. I think it's called a thermometer.
Oh yeah.
Did the big boys know about this?
That's right, Doc.
Does it measure hair?
So, but both of those were reading the same the entire time. And then I've done comparisons with both glass and plastic in the past of fermenting beer temperature compared to the thermometer, as well as like the little laser gun, and they're all within a half a degree of each other. So I guess I put my faith in that. Yeah,
sounds good. And so, what do you attribute the difference to? You said there was a difference.
Well, I can tell you what that difference. So out of 25 people, we expected, in order to, and I know JP mentioned he wants to get into the p-value talk again.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I do. I want to talk about your p-value.
It's always too low.
Got to compare the size of your p.
Maybe for you, Tasty.
Yeah.
So in order to, there's kind of this arbitrary line at a p-value of 0.05, and in order for us to reach significance, we'd have to get at least a minimum of 13 tasters out of the 25 who participated in the experiment to accurately select the odd beer out, and in this case we got 14, so just one over. Right. A diehard statistician is going to say significance is significance, so that would suggest that there was a distinguishable difference between the two beers.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't taste it.
Between the plastic carboy and the glass carboy.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned this before. Who were these drinkers? Like people in the alley?
Oh, it was a really good friend of mine named Sean. I had a really good friend.
I mean, these are people that have been around beer and would have a good chance of knowing a difference.
Yeah, we did a really interesting. We ran some of our data over 60 different experiments where we separated out those who have participated, who were, say, like BJCP judges, and we compared them to people who just reported being, regular old, like, BMC drinkers compared to craft beer drinkers. Yeah. And in the end, they were all the same. Their performance was
interesting. Now you're talking about some knowledge, man. Okay. I think you got a book here, right, on this one. That's a good fact.
When they get it right, don't you ask them a few further questions to kind of see if they can describe the difference?
Yeah. So so when people get it right, what we used to do is have the people who are correct. Well, we'd have everybody go through it, but the people who got it wrong were filling out a dummy form
because they're dumb.
You're stupid. Yeah. Call it a stupid form.
Yeah, a dumbass form. So the people who were correct, though, what we used to have them do is go through and have them try to guess maybe what the variable was, and a couple of other things. But what we found is that I think the point that we nixed that was 58 or so experiments done, and in not a single one did we find anything meaningful from that data. And so in order to we're collecting more and more data with every single one of these things. 25 people, 30 people. We've had 100. My buddy who's sitting here with me, Tommy, we had over 150 people complete the survey at one point. And so the shorter we can make it, the quicker the survey, the more people we can get. So.
Sure. So you didn't really get any flavor description. There wasn't a pattern between the people that could get it right. That like they were saying like, oh, this one's more bitter. Or
do we know why? Like what
they were tasting?
People were picking out.
We're a species who wants to know why. I understand that.
Yeah.
The thing about this one was
I just want to be told why, Marshall. I don't want to figure it out.
You could make it up.
Yeah, I just want to be told why.
That's the root of all anxiety. Right?
Yes, I don't know why.
Yeah, right. Oh, shit. And so with this one, what it will usually do, and this is a little bit more, not so much, I guess, scientific, but what we'll usually do is, when people are done taking the survey, we know if they got it right or not because they usually will come and ask us or tell us, what color cup they picked, and so we'll kind of jot down their comments afterwards. On this one, surprisingly, the most common response when the participants found out what the variable was after I told them was, I don't understand why you would do that. That's such a stupid variable. The beers tasted exactly the same, yet a significant number, picked the odd beer out. This could just be a statistical anomaly. That shit happens, but
it is. If it was normal, just randomness, wouldn't 1/3 of them, correct me if I'm wrong, get it right by randomness? No.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. In order to get the pie you're looking for, you just got to get just a few more, basically. That could be you flip a coin 13 times, you're going to get 6 of this, 7 of that. No, you could get 13 hits.
And that just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
It happened,
right?
Statistically.
Divine intervention, sure.
All right.
The thing is, and this is about as much as I think I'll go into the p-value stuff because I have a beer in my hand.
So do we. So we don't have any hard questions.
These are all softballs.
Yeah.
I got a hard ball in a minute. Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tasty's hard ball.
Well, he just took the pill, so
you might even have 2 hard balls.
It's going to happen. No, you've been asking before. Go ahead. You're going to make a point, Mark.
Put in one of those calcium chocolate chews. Anyway, sir.
Oh, God. So the way the p-value, in essence, the very like p-value for dummies, the way it works is that when you have a triangle test, the expectation is that 1/3, if it's completely random, if there's no difference, the expectation is that approximately 1/3 of every tester or taster is going to select one of the 3 different samples. The way a p-value works is that depending on the level that you place your p-value, which ours is at 0.05, that's pretty commonly accepted in sensory analysis. It essentially creates a calculation where, depending on the number, your sample size, however many people extra beyond that third, that 1/3 of the sample, it'll say, well, that number extra, we can say that that's more than what we would expect, even if it was past random chance. Mm-hmm. Right, at this certain level. That's about as technical as I get about it.
Right. I get the idea, for sure. Of course, I'm a math major guy.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Marshall.
Yeah.
The triangle test, I understand, the p-value and all that. What about other things you could do? Like, for instance, could you send a sample to the lab? Like, would the glass carboy have a lower oxygen content than the plastic?
Yeah, we recently developed a relationship with a really cool lab out of Oregon called Oregon Brew Labs. I don't believe they're doing DO testing of beer. They probably are, and I just completely didn't think to send this to them, but. We've had a few of our hop-based experiments tested for IBU comparisons, and that's provided that objective data that people hunger for,
Yeah.
And it really is fascinating stuff.
No p-value there.
Yeah, and
here's the number.
Yeah. No, here's the number. Yeah. So, and the cool thing about a place like that up in Oregon is it's really inexpensive, and anybody can send their stuff into them to have it tested. So whether you're experimenting or you're just interested to see what's up with your beer, there's these places that are popping up because of the popularity of this hobby and brewing in general. I think that you give us all that opportunity to see what's going on with our beer.
Very nice.
That's crazy.
We should take advantage of that.
We should take advantage of that.
I think so, yeah.
If your beer's staling, or if you're finding diacetyl in your beer, you may want to find out where it's being introduced at, or something. do some troubleshooting if it's at reasonable cost. Why not?
Totally.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So, are you going to run this this fermenter experiment again? I mean, do you go back and rerun these things, or what?
Yeah. So eventually, like probably years from now, I'll redo precisely this one. But right now, the ADHD guy in me wants to compare all of the different types of fermenters. So I was able to just pick up a couple of those stainless brew buckets.
Okay.
And so I think the next comparison I'll do on that front is stainless versus glass, just to see if there's any. Because if it is an O2 ingress issue, I'd expect that stainless and glass would be more similar than the PET compared to glass.
Sure.
So,
that makes sense. Less porous.
But are you going to be able to keep the shape of the fermentation vessel constant? Because that affects the fermentation profile quite a bit. The shape of the fermenter.
Right.
Presumably, right?
You're not going to have a stainless steel shaped carboy. No. I mean, your stainless steel.
I don't know.
The carboy shape.
It's a thing. Stainless. Yeah, stainless. Yeah, whatever. It's stainless.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that. So you're going to get a glass keg-looking thing or something?
No, so I'm not fermenting in a keg. We do have one of the contributors, Greg Foster, is a rampant keg fermenter, and I'll probably get him to do a comparison between fermenting in a keg versus something else. But the thing is, we've worked really hard in most of these to really narrow the variable down to a single thing.
No, that's great.
But at the same time, from a practical perspective, how many people are going to be out there having stainless steel, carboys that look like glass carboys? That's not the case.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's the practical component. Like the nerd in me really wants to be able to narrow it down, but
then you're not making anything that's useful.
Well, you don't want to manufacture things because then essentially you're manufacturing a conclusion.
Yeah.
Exactly. That nobody can use. Or it's completely unapplicable, right?
That's great. Yeah, okay. Well, then, so of course, another topic would be what does fermenter shape have to do with the taste of the beer?
Which means I'd have to find a really large glass fermenter. I don't.
Well, I mean, that's another experiment.
Get a big casserole dish.
Or like those wine demijohns, like 10 gallon.
Oh yeah, they have the 14 gallon ones.
14,
that you could just fill up with 5 gallons, and it'd be really wide and shallow.
Oh right,
shape.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually,
you could just take I think we touched on this earlier, like a corny keg, and try half full and versus all the way full. See what the beers
we
come
were
out
talking about corny keg things for a while too, because we've been talking about that on the show for a long time. Corny kegs aren't supposedly a very good shape to ferment in.
I've heard that. Yeah, I have no idea. I know people who ferment in corny kegs almost primarily, and I've had their beer and it's totally fine to me.
But what do you know?
That argument.
Thank you. I honestly very
What's
little.
Your personal p-value? You get up twice a night, don't you? You got to get that fixed.
Yeah. That argument doesn't make sense to me.
I'm concerned with my own p-value.
because
why does it make sense to you, Warren?
The height and width proportions are pretty similar to what professional brewers brew in.
But I think it's.
But they get different results based on shape as well. I mean,
but doing it, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do it in a keg because it's tall and skinny." It's like, well, that's what professional brewers brew in.
Well, but I think it's the ratio of tall. I think it's taller than it is.
Not by much.
It's skinny and tall, but I think commercial fermenters have a wider ratio. They're wider than if you take a corny keg and scale it up to a 50 barrel or 70 barrel, whatever size.
Yeah,
it's not going to look like if you walk into a brewery and see it. It's going to be a lot taller and skinnier.
The ratio between Heretics 120s and a corny keg are pretty close, except it's more of a conical bottom than the dish bottom of a corny.
I think
that would be the only difference.
That's part of it.
Well, it's part of it. It's part about the pressures and the shape.
Well, right.
Yeah. No, I have to agree. I've been in small breweries with high ceilings, and those fermenters are essentially the same sort of format as a car.
I'm not saying it doesn't make any difference. I'm just saying it doesn't mean you can't make good beer. It's just
not at all.
Just different.
It's different. differently.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That should be a new style of beer.
No, you'll get a different result. Like you could, I don't know. I know, like it.
It's like ester production, is what it.
The pressures are obviously different at the bottom of a corny keg than they would be at the bottom of a 100 barrel fermenter.
Sure.
Shaped the same, but the pressures do have a lot to do with the height of the column. of liquid, and the yeast will act different under pressure. So yeah, you just have to know your yeast and know what temperature it responds well to.
So Marshall, get a 120 barrel fermenter.
Right. I feel like that's the only way to test.
That's the only way to test this.
It's the first way to test it. There we go from there.
It's true.
Get a glass one too.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, the zymatic you ferment in the corny keg, right?
You can.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Okay.
So I pump mine out into a 3-gallon carboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get another keg. Just and for no reason, and that's why we love talking to you, because there's sometimes there's reason for shit that we do in homebrewing, and sometimes there's no reason at all. Just that's how we were taught. That's how we were told. Someone wrote it in a book, and they may or may not be correct.
Sounds like life to me, man.
Sounds like life.
Yeah. So now I'm even more interested to do the corny keg one than I am the stainless thing.
You should be.
Yeah.
Who's worried about stainless? Don't worry
It's
about
an
it.
endless possibility. So I guess that's good for you. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. It also keeps me really busy.
A corny keg is stainless.
Oh God!
Wow.
No, so the stainless fermenter that I've got, I don't know if you guys have seen these around. There, it's those SS Brewtech, it's like a bucket shape that has a little conical on the bottom.
Yeah,
with like a little
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so to me, it's a little bit. It seems more similar to like a bucket that's just made of stainless, as opposed to like a carboy or a keg.
Okay.
Yeah.
The proportions are a lot closer to a bucket than like a more beer conical or something like that.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Marshall, I have a question from the chat room.
What up?
This is from what up?
How you doing?
This is from HH. He says, "Could you ask Marshall why they stick with the p-value of 0.5 rather than something less conservative, as the consequence of a false positive is very low?"
So I'm not going to get into mainly because I cannot at this point in my night get into the details. but so this is something that we've talked about a lot. There are two kind of avenues I'll go down for this one. The first one is I've consulted with multiple statisticians about this stuff, and one of them is he's earning his PhD in stats right now, and based on the statistic that we're using for what we're using, the 0.05 is acceptable. Okay. The other issue is that it's the industry standard for sensory analysis. So if I didn't use that, I'd probably get more shit from people than I get for using it. and so it's easier for me to just avoid that. The other thing is this. We're a brewing blog. Come on. If you want to use the 0.01 or if you want to use the 0.10, which is very, very liberal, go for it. I think it's interesting to question what type of bias is driving one to want to use the more liberal statistic, but who cares? It's just beer. I say this all the time. If you don't buy the statistic that we're sharing at 0.05, change the number. Who cares? It's not going to kill anybody. Unless it does. Then.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is just beer, but it's also fascinating. I mean, like you said, it sounds like life, where we have to kind of overcomplicate things to, I don't know, maybe make sense of the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have some control. We're like cutters. We're the alcoholic version of people who cut themselves.
Right. Everything feels less complicated if I overcomplicate this one issue.
This one particular issue.
Exactly. Yeah. The racking to a secondary carboy distracts me enough to not focus on how shitty my beer tastes.
Yeah, it works for me. Right. I tell you that.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
works for me. Yeah, that's
my
totally.
beer is not very good. Although I did brew. I have high hopes for this beer that I made.
Like to
Friday.
get it out of a carboy?
Like to get it. If I can get it out of the carboy, Doc, I'll be ecstatic.
That's pretty high hopes.
It's pretty high hopes.
With the Zymatic, you could leave it in the carboy. That way it's always kegged.
Just serve out of it?
Right. And then you don't have this issue of actually having to put it back into a keg.
Right. Well, that's true. So let me ask you a question, Marshall, about your personal brewing. Like when you brew for fun, and actually assuming you brew for fun, and actually to drink at home, have your experiments changed the way that you brew at home? Like, for example, the plastic versus glass carboy. Will you be changing the way that you ferment from one to the other based on this?
Okay, that's a good question that I don't ever get asked.
Well, I'm a professional, so.
Just kidding. So
shit. You know what, Marshall? Hang
Oh,
on. We hung up on Marshall.
I feel like he was sarcastic.
I feel like he was sarcastic too. I turned him on. Sorry, go ahead, Marshall.
I'm still here, bro. So I was being a smartass. You hung up on me at the right time. Yeah. So that's actually I do get asked that quite often. The thing is, there are things that I've adopted based on the experiments. There are things that I won't, just because I think by doing so, I either increase the risk of screwing something up, or it just makes my brew day more difficult. For example, one thing I no longer care about is getting kettle trub into my fermenters. I've done 2 experiments on that, and so far, even when I'm fining with something like gelatin, the batches that I make that have a higher amount of kettle trub in the fermenter tend to come out much crisper, more clear. They're not distinguishably different based on flavor and aroma, but they have that really nice, light, crisp, clear character, and I prefer that. So I don't worry too much about that anymore. Hold on.
Okay.
So
that burp brought to you by Brulosophy.com.
I didn't even have to pay for that one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So
you're paying in other ways.
Yeah. God. So other things like I've done a few like boil length, how long you boil, and I've boiled Pilsner malt for 30 compared to 90 minutes, and those come out indistinguishable, but I still find myself just boiling everything for an hour because I kind of need the time to do other stuff during the brew day.
So it's a convenience thing over a recipe issue.
Totally utilitarian, absolutely, for the most part. There are other things. The Vienna that I'm drinking now, it actually it moved forward in this year's NHC. Is a Vienna. Well, I submitted it in 24 categories, something like that. But I'll talk to you about that.
This
later.
oatmeal stout is great.
Yeah. But I fermented this at 64 degrees with a lager yeast, and it came out tasting exactly how I was hoping it would. So I'm fine with that now. I just don't worry too much about it, I guess.
I think that's a good lesson. Because seriously, because there was a time in my home brewing when I was overly stressed about these little things, especially the trub getting into the fermenter, into the carboy. I would panic about it. I'd be super pissed about it.
Oh yeah, me too.
And then you follow the logical conclusion, or illogical, I guess. And if your beer tastes like shit afterwards, well, it must have been all that trub I sucked in there.
Yeah, totally. Not the fact that I'm a shitty brewer, or that I I do have this theory, and I have a couple of friends who kind of disagree with me on this, but I would say that the large majority of bad homebrew, the stuff that you, JP, complain about, is contaminated on some level with some wild, weird yeast that you look at all of the weird things that we've done that people blame bad beer on, and they're coming out not tasting different. What
do you mean?
Well, you look, fermentation temperature, which I still think is important. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's. I don't know if the field is as narrow when it comes to home brewing as it is for maybe professional brewers.
Okay.
Things like I can't think of anything else really, but yeast. Building up a big yeast starter, a day or two ahead of time, compared to what Colin Kaminsky taught us about vitality starters. There's all kinds of different aspects. Fermenting with a bunch of kettle trub. These are all things that in the past we would say led to bad beer.
Yeah.
And yet we've got these large groups of people who are unable to reliably distinguish between a well-made, quote-unquote, well-made beer, and one of these poorly made beers.
Quote-unquote.
Quote-unquote.
Yeah. Well, again, to me, brings up to me, what about the lab work? When it would have these staling agents that survive that ferment because of all the trub? You would, because, again, the sensory is just a starting point, right? I mean, with the lab, you could find out whether the beer would stale in your home brew environment as well as commercial.
Yeah, totally. One of the more interesting experiments that we did was on that 30-minute versus 90-minute, 98% Pilsner malt beer, and it was a boil length experiment. And we had both samples blindly sent into a lab for DMS testing, and both came back with 0 DMS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Wow.
able to sleep at night if I only boiled for 30 minutes. What do I waste the yeast on that thing for?
Right.
But I think what's interesting is we have to ask ourselves, and this is the psychologist in me, why do I feel that way? Where did that come from? Is it an appeal to authority? Is it because of something I read somewhere, what I heard somebody else say? But it's not based on experiential data. It's not based on anything I've tasted before. Maybe presumptions about what I think I'm tasting in somebody's poorly made beer, but
maybe when you're older and you can't boil as hard as you used to.
Or all
You
night
have to
like
boil
they
for
used to,
longer.
or 4 or 5 times a night.
I heard low and slow works really well, actually.
Well, but that's a myth. No one can do that.
There's additives for that.
There's additives, little blue.
Oh,
Keep it under
Jesus.
4 hours.
Well, Marshall the lovely Beverly, is pouring some beers for us. So you sent us some beers, and we're going to take a break here real fast, and then actually it's going to be kind of a long break while we digest the beers, and then we're going to fill out the form that you sent in. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. And you're actually going to be able to run the results and tell us what we did wrong, essentially, when we come back, right? I mean, that's...
You bet, man.
Technology. I love it.
It's crazy.
Instant gratification.
I'm going to start investing in technology. I'm assuming that's a thing I can invest in.
I think so. Just call up your financial advisor.
I will.
Why don't you just believe in it first?
It doesn't exist.
You're Luddite.
So we're going to do that, and then, we're going to come back. We're going to rap about that a little bit, and then I think that's about it.
Oh, shit.
I think that's about it for the show.
We're going to freestyle?
So you want to hang out, about 10 minutes or so on hold, Marshall?
Oh, dude, I got piss to take and beer to pour, so.
Well, here's a suggestion. You should leave the piss. Don't take it because that's gross.
No, good point. Good point.
Thank you. All right, everyone. It's the Brewing Network, the session. We're here with Marshall from Brulosophy. We're about to drink some beer and party. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Hey, this is Brandon from Drake's Brewing Company, here to talk to you about our Hop Chef Champion Brewer Competition.
Hop Chef Champion Brewer Competition.
15 awesome California breweries are joining us on Saturday, April 16th from 2 to 5 p.m. at Drake's dealership in Uptown Oakland. Each brewery is bringing a tasty brand new beer made with the randomly selected unique ingredients, including everything from ginger to juniper berries. Tickets are just $25 and include a collectible glass, a punch card to try all 16 brews,
Champion Brewer Competition.
and you, the beer drinker, gets to decide the winner. Saturday, April 16th, we bring the beer, you be the judge, and see who will be crowned the next Hop Chef champ. For more information, check out drinkdrakes.com.
Say hello to my little friend. You've heard about White Labs Pure Pitch yeast. Pure Pitch is yeast grown right in its final packaging. That means yeast that has never been exposed to the environment. And White Labs Pure Pitch yeast for homebrewers is now available to everyone at homebrew retailers nationwide. Easy to use, perfectly sized, and ready to pitch. White Labs yeast packaged using their Flex Cell process ensures the purest yeast on the market. Visit whitelabs.com to learn more about Pure Pitch, Flex Cell technology, and how it's created. Then visit a homebrew retailer near you for your own perfectly sized package of Pure Pitch yeast. And you can say hello to your own little friend. www.whitelabs.com. If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com. Also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer. Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right, thanks everyone for sticking with us. Before we jump back on with Marshall, I want to talk to you guys about the folks at Great Fermentations. If you guys are in the market for Blickman products, there's no better place to go than greatfermentations.com. They provide the same-day shipping on a lot of main items. Their staff is some of the best trained in using Blickman products, and they have top-notch customer service. Check it out. Greatfermentations.com. They do have a promo code BNARMY50. That's BNARMY50. That you get $1 shipping on any order over $50 through the end of May 2016. So you better jump on that. Bulk grains excluded, of course. So check out those lovely people. Greatfermentations.com. Marshall.
What up?
What up, dog?
Why'd you do this to us? Motherfucker.
Yeah, I like to computerize things.
You're lucky you're all the way over there.
Yeah.
Was it tough?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, it wasn't tough.
It wasn't a hardness level?
No, it was hard to go back and I didn't even bother to redo it.
Are the beers infected?
They were harsh.
Oh, boy.
They've seen better days.
2 of them were more harsh than the other one.
That's got to be a bottling issue. Or it could be the variable.
It could be the variable. But yes, one of them was definitely
That's why you can't mail in this thing.
One was definitely different to me.
I know,
definitely.
It makes it tough.
One was different to me, too. So how do you want to do this? Should we go through and tell you which... we have
He's got the results right
blue,
there.
a red, and a green. Should we go through and just talk about it, or do you want to? Do we tell you what we thought was different, or what do you want to do?
So let me let's see. We've got Jason, Doc, Tasty, and Beardy. Is it just the 4 of you?
Yeah.
So I want to change my answer. I clicked the wrong one.
You do this every time.
Okay, you get to say it.
I actually was filling out the form again to send it to you. I didn't know you were actually going to do it. Like, look at what we sent you right now.
Don't be embarrassed.
Why not?
Well, if I change it now, it's unaffected by all these other guys because we haven't talked about it. So I'm fine with saying what my answer is.
I don't give a shit if my answer is right or wrong, whatever.
I want to change from green to red. That's all.
Well, you can't. I can't change it officially because you got to go. The way this works is I could
bam.
I'm going to send you another one. I'll fill it out again.
Don't fill it out again. That'll
that'll skew the p value.
I had the regular birdie tied up in the back. This is the real birdie.
So I haven't told you guys what the variable is. I don't know if you guys want to go into that yet. My buddy Tommy from House Pendragon is drinking with me. Is the beer you're drinking? Would you call it harsh?
Yes. Hands down, right up front.
No, it's not harsh.
Yes.
Okay.
The one I got in front of me?
Harsh.
Okay, 2 of them are harsh.
What 2 are harsh?
I think Doc's talking like harsh is in the SoCal, harshing my vibe harsh.
No.
Harshing is mellow?
No. It's got a bite to it, kind of a harsh bite. Both of them, and then the red one and the blue one.
The red one and the blue one have a harsh bite to them?
Yeah, they just had that was their difference. And the green one's just a little bit mellower and just a little bit nicer.
Let's jump into this, Marshall. Why not, right?
You got it. What do you guys want to know first? I'll tell you anything you want. Just ask.
What's the difference?
What are you wearing for underwear?
So underwear. Who wears that? So
there you go.
Communists.
There's
Marshall.
the answer.
Communists.
So the difference on this one is I've been very curious since I started brewing about the impact or the difference between roasted barley and black patent.
Oh, you bum.
And so one of the batches, it's a porter that I believe started somewhere around 1054, 1055. One of them has a pound. I kind of went overboard on it. So when you said harsh at first, Doc, I thought maybe that's what you were referring to. I went a little overboard. One of them has a pound of roasted barley, a little bit of C60, C15, a little bit of white wheat, and the rest 2-row.
Okay.
The other one has the same grain bill, except it's a pound of black patent, of black malt. Anybody want to talk about what we might expect the difference to be?
Well, as far as harsh, I mean acrid, kind of.
Right.
Just
right, ashy.
Yeah, ashy, kind of sharp.
Ashy like my feet. So, just in case anybody doesn't know, Marshall sent us a triangle test. 2 beers are the same, 1 beer's different. And we have to pick out which was different.
There's a red cup, blue cup,
Yeah,
green
so
cup.
who should we be listening to here that actually knows? Because who got it right?
I don't know, Tasty, why don't you, well, just go ahead and well,
Marcel
Doc,
got it right there. Oh.
what do you think, which was the different one?
Mine was the green one.
The green one?
Yeah.
That was different to you?
Yeah, it's different to me.
Why?
Because the other two were acrid to me. They were just sharp. The other one just had a little bit more. It just was more mellow and just kind of easier to drink.
Okay.
It just didn't have that sharp kind of. I wouldn't say tanniny, but it just
was a little more rounded, maybe.
The one, the green one, was a lot more. Was exactly right. It was more rounded. It was just smoother.
Okay.
A nicer cup of coffee. You know.
Yeah, I do. Tasty.
Same as Doc, except it's the red one. No,
Okay.
really, that's exactly what I experienced.
All right.
It's
And
Right.
on.
Yeah, it was like an astringent, acrid difference to me is what I noticed. But when it was cold, I picked the green one, and then when it warmed up, it seemed like it was more of the red one.
Okay. I didn't go back in. I'm not going back in.
And so, yeah, that's why on the form I clicked the green one, and then when I came back after the break, it's like,
yeah, I could.
Now it might be the red one.
But anybody could say that. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a dickhead, but the reality is,
it's all right. You're the one with the 0.05 p-value.
It'll show. We'll find out who you are.
Oh, burn!
Hey, it's more conservative than your 0.1.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm gonna liberal all over your face with my pee.
Okay, so we've got Doc and Tasty and Warren. Jason, what'd you pick?
Well, I picked the red one as being the different one, but I picked it for a different reason entirely. When the beers were cold, I got a lot of butterscotch in the nose, in the blue and the green. In the red, I didn't. And so that's the one I focused on. And then trying them, the red and the green were a little bit... the red was a little smoother.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's weird. It must be some sort of boiling thing or some weird kind of thing. So anyway, regardless, the red was different, and so that's what I picked, but it sounds like for the wrong reasons. But now but now going back to them, as they warmed up, I don't get the green. I get a lot of like butterscotch deal going on. The blue, I got a little bit more acrid, but I still think that the red is a bit easier to drink. It's a little smoother. It's has a little more depth to it.
Interesting.
That's my conclusion, and this was my conclusion.
You're sticking to it.
Yeah.
You got to the same place, just a different way.
A totally different way. Yeah, I took a shortcut.
Well, he had three choices.
Doc described exactly what I tasted.
Yeah.
So this is always the awkward part, the reveal. So the different
Put your
one
pants
was,
back on.
Hey, don't tell me what to do. Not the boss of me. And I'm at home
What are
alone
you guys
right
doing
now.
there, by the way? Oh, you're alone now.
What happened to Tom?
No, I'm not alone. I've still got...
Right.
I'm not alone.
Both you guys put your pants back.
Tommy was smart. He left.
Yeah.
I heard him laughing in the background.
Yeah, he's there. So, Tommy, what do you think? Do you,
Anymore.
Here's the put him on. Yeah, he's the one. Here, go ahead, Tommy.
He's drinking more than you? Yeah, put him.
I don't have the other one.
I ran out of the other one. Yeah.
Oh, the good one.
Not the good one. Which one was that?
That must have been red.
Divulge. It's smooth. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know. I didn't take the test myself.
But you had all the beers, and you experienced the same thing.
So Tommy does not have the roasted barley beer. Tommy is drinking the Black Patent beer because I drank the roasted barley beer.
So that's the one you prefer.
Yeah, you had a preference.
I did have a little preference, but in it's weird because in blind triangles, I couldn't detect a difference. I think I got 1 out of 6 right, and I'm happily drinking the Black Patent one now just to kill the keg. The yeah, and I actually enjoy it. So when I first heard Doc, 2 things ran through my mind. He must be a super taster because it's Doc, or he picked the right one and really hated the Black Patent one because the correct one is red, which is roasted barley. So those who chose, that was a nice little review.
Hey, you made him happy.
I'm amazing.
We were supposed to reveal. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
We didn't even do a drum roll.
I know.
It's okay.
Well,
so the red is black. What did you say? Black pat? No, roasted barley.
Roasted barley is the red one. Green and blue are from the same exact keg. So if you, which means that if you experienced blue and red as being different,
yeah, I did definitely
as being different than green, then you were experiencing a difference that was illusory because unless the and the problem with shipping bottles is that it could be that one of those bottles developed some sort of a problem. I shipped them off 2 weeks ago, JP, I think it was.
I got them Friday, bro.
So I shipped them off 5 days ago.
Yeah, maybe you got them Thursday, but yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Time, yeah.
Yeah,
I get some little bit of diacetyl in the blue and the green.
I got it in all of them. It was just the red one had a bit more harsh roast, acrid astringent flavor,
which is interesting because Black Patent is the one that's noted for imparting more of that acrid, ashy kind of character.
Yeah, what are we learning from this?
Well, I don't know what you want to learn. What I took
both were used in moderation in this recipe. So I mean, if you could have pushed that a little bit, the average drinker could have seen a bigger difference.
Potentially, yeah. What I did is I went over and looked at a whole bunch of kind of common porter recipes for 5-gallon batches, and most of them didn't have much over a pound of roasted malt. A lot of them had a lot more kind of a blend of chocolate malt, Black Patent, and roasted barley. Mm-hmm. And so what I did is I just condensed all the roasted malts into one, and then added just a little bit of extra stuff so that I wanted to drink the beer later.
Well, and I know some people define the difference between porter and stout as whether they use roasted barley or Black Patent.
That's kind of what the guiding rule I've tried to go by also.
Yeah,
that was one of the big inspirations for this for me to do this test. Is that's how I've always looked at it as well. That Black Patent is used maybe a little bit less of Black Patent for a porter. Mm-hmm. Roasted barley is dedicated towards stout, and it's used in higher proportions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is that not true now, or did we kind of solve that riddle, or maybe make it at least less important?
Well, I'll tell you this, that I've still got some data collection to do, but in the first, including you guys, in the first 10 people who have taken this, only 1, 2, 3 have gotten it right.
That's me! I'm one of them!
One of 3.
I'm one of 3, Lupe.
Wait.
I am too.
Yeah,
because
Tasty and I are one of 3.
Well,
out of 10.
Wait,
verbally, I did it too. I just clicked the wrong one.
Whatever, Warren.
Oh yeah,
right. You don't matter.
One of 3. One of 3.
Right.
You did it.
You're still gonna have to stay after school.
Yeah.
Now I want a shirt that says 1 of 3.
So, I think one of the interesting things to talk about, and again, this is what tickles kind of what drove me into a profession is the response from people when they get it wrong. Because we have a group of friends.
The shaming?
Well, it's no. I'm not shaming anyone, but I think there's a shame component for sure.
I think you're shaming.
You see a trend, a pattern.
Definitely. I mean, we're now pushing something like 82 experiments, and so
you've seen the Beardy pattern before, where he says, "Well, I really meant to choose the other one."
Oh, we see that often.
I said it before the results were read.
You say it before the results are read every time, though.
Okay.
That gives you 2 chances to win, you see.
Exactly.
Well, no, but I'm abandoning the first answer. I'm abandoned.
Really? Okay.
I wouldn't go back.
Abandoned like his first kid.
If it ended up being the green one, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I was right the first time.
All right, Marshall, what interesting pattern have you
I would
seen?
do that.
Oh, there's multiple. This might make kind of something fun to write about, actually. But we have a group of local people who take these all the time, and so I get to watch a bunch of the same people take them, and I'll usually tell them what the variable was at the end, and there's I think lately the people who have done it the most are learning that if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter anymore. But there are those people who take it really hard. Oh man, I thought it was
it's embarrassing, right? They leave early.
So you've ruined some of your friends' self-confidence.
I'm so out of here. Stupid. I'm so dumb.
Beardy,
I'm not coming back anymore.
Self-confidence was ruined before they took the test, and hinging it on a.
This is what'll validate me.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my chance.
Maybe this is like poker. These guys do it at the same time at the same place.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, yeah, basically.
A lot of times it's like poker night, right? Here we are, right? This is the challenge here. Who's going to get it right? Who's not?
But and that's
you're
the
putting
weird thing.
You're putting a prize on it. Like if it was just an individual, you never know whether you got it right or not. Who cares?
Right.
I would say that a good 80% of the time, it's one person at my house taking it and walking away,
kicking over his plants as he exits the door. Shit!
Right.
So stupid.
But it's the part that's so curious to me is that who cares if you're right or wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. There's
That's
a lot
my
of
attitude.
Yeah, who cares? Because
you're wrong. Both
no,
of you.
it's just an opinion. It can be wrong. It's an opinion.
It might keep me from getting a job later.
Okay, I can understand that one. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's really fascinating to see that response from people, and then one of the funniest response patterns that I've noticed is the person who owns that there was something about it that was really different, and I'm saying, well, dude, I poured it from the same keg, and they're like, there was something in the cup then because it was different. I'm like, man, the odds of that, the odds of the fact that the dust particles that were in that fucking cup made it taste different than the thing that I actually was testing.
Yeah.
Like that,
What are the odds on that?
It's got to be lower than 0.05, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but it could happen.
Apparently.
If you fart during one of the tests, do you have to do a retest?
We opened the garage door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's a good crosswind.
There's a little cross breeze going through.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
So you're saying we don't need to, but I still don't understand. Do we use roasted barley or not? Tell me. Just tell me.
Now it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, clearly you picked one you liked, so use that one.
Would be your preference.
Which one did I pick? Oh, fuck. The Sharks won. Sorry. Which one did I pick? The red one?
Yeah, you picked the red one.
Marshall, remind me again how I won.
Why I'm right.
Yeah, tell me why I'm right.
You picked the one that's different. Something.
You picked the correct one, the red one, which you also preferred over the other one.
Yes.
But what grain does he prefer?
Thank you.
So that's roasted barley.
Yeah, I knew it. I always knew it.
That's the better barley.
It is the better barley.
Yeah.
Well, and I think something that's interesting about this one as well is that roasted barley is an unmalted grain, whereas black patent is a malted and roasted grain. And so when we... You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
That's why it's not malt, it's just barley.
Wow.
Oh, I guess I never really thought
And
about
doesn't
that.
the husk fall off during the roasting process?
I think it gets burnt off for a lot of them.
Okay.
One of the arguments that I don't know if I should call it an argument, but something that I've read when I was researching.
Yeah, make it one.
I know, God. One of the things that I've read is that, particularly with black patent, one of the reasons people think that it imparts this ashiness is that more husk remains intact because of the malting process, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
They look naked to me.
Yeah, they do. Especially roasted barley. Roasted barley almost has kind of a wheat
Shiny.
sort of look.
Right,
in it.
yeah, it looks like the husk is gone.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, whenever I've made my oatmeal stout, I've talked more and more about pulling out black patent every iteration, and finally I just removed it entirely and upped a little bit more of the pale chocolate and used the roasted barley. Because I can't stand that black patent acrid bullshit. I can't do it.
Which is... And maybe there are sensitivities. I mean, that's another thing that we can't measure with this is, what if the people who got this one right really do have some sort of a sensitivity to that acrid character? There's no way for me to. You have. You're a very sensitive person.
Very sensitive, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I guess that's part of this. That would be kind of interesting somehow to test or even write about or whatever. Just the sensitivity levels in different people that you're getting to do these tests.
Psychology today.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's because, a whole different field.
Well, because it's there, and I think it might help us as homebrewers. To be like, hey, if we're giving our beer to the same, people, it may not be, it may not, and they don't like it or whatever. It may not be that our beer sucks, but it probably is. It's that they have a sensitivity to, like the roasted barley or black patent or, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It's probably already been done for the food side.
I'm real dumb, but didn't we have a woman in here who does that at UC Davis? She studies like people's flavor thresholds for all that stuff.
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
She had like an off flavor kit that she brought in, and her job was.
I barely remember any of the shows, but I do remember that.
I mean, it's a hazy fog, but I think there's people out there doing that, and we actually have talked to them apparently.
Marshall, there you go, dude.
Well,
listen to the archive. Yeah,
I will say this, and to the chagrin of my local friends, I'm sure that we recently partnered up with Flavor Active, who they're
great.
the ones who they produce a bunch of those off flavor kits. So.
Here's your task. Go out and find every publican in the state of California and teach them the off flavors. It'll change craft beer forever.
Oh, that'd be great.
The guy that orders the beer.
Well,
those guys have the keys to the kingdom.
And this is the asshole in me. I would love to do is get the people who think they know those off flavors really well.
But you'll fuck their lives up. That's cruel.
Right. So you do like ruining people's lives,
right?
Well, I think they've ruined their own lives by telling themselves lies.
You're valuing their lives based on their beer sensitivity.
I'll tell you what. I'm drinking one of those beers now that has an off flavor and shouldn't be purchased. But what do I know?
Are you going to tell us
your face?
No, I'm not going to say what it is.
No, but his face was just priceless. He goes, I got a fresh beer.
He's enjoying it.
I look like a snake smelling a bunch of rats or something. Yeah. Trying to get that off the tongue, man.
Well, I recall the last time I was there. There was a particular beer on, and I think you, Jason, referred to it as a. It tasted like a kerosene in a glass. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, actually.
Well, you probably self-flatulate too.
Yeah, I totally self-flatulate.
Yeah, good.
Don't we all self-flatulate?
I think so. I've never been other flatulated yet.
Right.
But
well, time is, the night is still young, Marshall. Strange things can happen.
Yeah. Tommy's still there.
Speaking of strange and awesome things happening, have you guys heard about what's going on at the adamandeve.com website?
What's going on?
What?
Well, of course, if you go to adamandeve.com now, for a limited time only, very limited, of course, you'll get 50% off just about any item. When you select your one item at 50% off, you'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs plus a free exclusive gift. And to top it all off, they'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. So in the past, we've always talked about how the exclusive gift is like a random thing, and it could be a lotions or lube or a plug or something. They've claimed it. They've named the thing. They're giving you the same thing. It's called the Clit Bumper.
Oh, ooh. I don't have one of those though.
Well, you don't need to bump it then. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then you don't need this.
Oh, okay.
Well, you do.
Yeah. I wonder if two gay guys are like ordering from Adam and Eve. Like, I don't know. Anyway, sorry. The ideal pleasure ring for couples. He'll love the way
it upside down.
This love.
If you use it backwards, is it? All right, guys.
Just flip it upside down, he said. While he's looking at his phone. It was just fucking nonchalant.
This guy's a problem solver.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He doesn't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, my.
I think it was voice texting.
No, right. Just flip it upside down.
Oh, God. I'm going to get fired.
Hey, it might, but you might like it.
It's true. He'll love the way this love ring lets him stay harder for longer, Marshall. It increases the strength of the orgasm
and your P-value.
She'll love the way the pleasure nubs thrill her sweet spots. Apparently, there's more. I can't find one.
Yeah,
there's multiple.
Now I have to find more than one.
How many? Where's Bev?
Hey, be glad there's multiple.
Once you find
it's
one,
kind
you
of a
find them all.
shotgun effect.
Bev, how many sweet spots do women have?
Oh my God!
Because we're talking about the clit bumper from Adam and Eve, and it says sweet spots plural.
Right. S.
I gotta look this up.
Right, we don't even have one.
Thank you. Bev says we don't even have one. It's a myth.
All of them.
Oh, so that all night looking thing is like fruitless?
Every one of them.
Anyway, soft and stretchy, made of premium silicone, compatible with all water-based lubes. AdamandEve.com. Use code BNARMY, BNARMY, at checkout. AdamandEve.com. Oh God, I can't even right now.
Yeah, you could even bump a clit if you wanted to.
Oh, did I miss something good?
No.
Just the Adam and Eve live read.
We were laughing. It was
Yeah,
fun.
just the best part of the show. Every show is the Adam and Eve live read.
And you missed the good one.
Yeah.
Marsha, are you going to you're going to do some of these triangle tests at Homebrew Con, right?
We have. I've partnered up with a good friend of mine from alesoftheriverwards.com named Ed Coffey, and he's doing the brewing for this experiment that we're going to have at homebrew.con. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. We're not telling anybody what it's about, of course, but we look forward to having any of you who are there involved. Find us. We'll be walking around with a couple of kegs.
Do you want to?
We'll bring them by. We'll do a live show or something, or a live piece or something.
Well, I was about to say, I wonder if you guys can just use our booth as like a home base.
We've got that's an option.
Marshall, I swear to God, if you say that you're going somewhere else, I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah, no, it's not that I found anyone else. It's that we've got so much shit going on that week.
Okay.
But definitely, I would love to stop by and do some live tastings or use it as like a stepdad home base type of thing.
That was basically him saying, "It's not you, it's me."
Yeah. Right. No. I mean, it sounds really great. Let me check my schedule.
Right.
I'll get right back to you.
Yeah.
I left at tastings.
It ain't gonna happen.
I like all the time I spend with you. I've just got to go be other places.
Yeah, I got to see a man.
No. In all seriousness, I would love to come by and hang out there for a long time. I'm not the one brewing the beer or the one bringing the kegs down, so I can't make all the decisions without talking to people
that's
first.
fine. Yeah, well, hey, man, if you need a home base,
well, if you want to,
look somewhere else.
We'll record it.
Well, Marshall, unless that's it, we're going to let you go because I'm full for information for the day.
I'm glad to fill you up with info.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. This is cool. I liked it. It's a good time.
Yeah. Turns out,
it's always a good
barley,
time. Always a good time.
Black patent, it doesn't matter.
Hey, check your p-value.
Yeah, well, we don't know it doesn't matter yet. It might matter.
Oh, that's right.
He needs to finish gathering information, right, Marshall?
So,
Marshall, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tasty.
What's the website? How do people find out more about these other experiments?
Yeah, so probably the best place to go is Wikipedia, and I'm just kidding.
Wiki. I like how you roll.
Well, I love Wikipedia, by the way.
Yeah.
You want to go to Brulosophy.com. That's you can type it kind of however. They all redirect at this point, but brulosophy.com, and there's a spot on the top menu bar that says experiments. It has every experiment that we've ever done in a searchable and sortable table.
How many are there?
Oh, God. I think last I counted there were 84 after this
84,
morning.
and you haven't even heard of this guy. That's pretty cool.
Wow. But you're making the rounds, man. I see you more and
They're
more.
all cool. I like the one. I read the one today about the gelatin versus the
Biofine.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
And so which worked better?
I had a question about that.
You got to read
How much?
Oh. That's a whole different show, Beardy.
What would happen if a vegan got as much gelatin as they would find in a pint of gelatin cleared beer? What would happen to them? Would they
implode?
Explode?
Yeah. Can you do a test of what percentage of vegans get pissed when you give them a beer?
I'm sorry. I know your wife's a vegan. I read that.
No, that's not my wife. That's Matt Waldron is one of the contributors.
That's right.
His wife is vegan.
No.
But
it's more about the principle. I get that.
So
yeah,
he's the one with a miserable life.
Sucker.
Well, now I will tell you something that I think's kind of funny is that I have vegetarian vegan friends who come over and they want to just drink the beer, and I'll tell them straight up front, hey, listen, every beer I put through my kegerator here is fined with gelatin. So you're eating animal parts. And when it comes to beer, that seems to be kind of like this pass for a lot of my friends. Now there are a couple who are not, and I don't mean to minimize, what they value in life, but
P-value.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting observation, I guess.
Just beat them with their leather belt.
Well, when I tell a friend about, I made a beer and I put an ingredient in it, I have to also tell them what major or minor effect it might have on the beer. I mean, you just can't say it's got gelatin in it. So they might expect, I look in the glass and half of it looks like it's Jell-O.
Yeah, you have to explain.
Why.
There's a certain amount of beer knowledge.
Small amount, 1 teaspoon for 5 gallons, and it all settles to the bottom, or most of it, and never gets into the glass.
Oh yeah, I'd be willing to bet that if it were put under a scope, that there'd be especially after a week in the keg, that there's very little, if any, actual gelatin in the beer. I think again,
another experiment.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We need to kickstart fund you a gas chromatograph.
Yeah.
I'm down. Yeah, go for it. I'll give you my address off air, and we'll.
It's going to be used one though.
We couldn't.
We'll call Waylands.
We couldn't get 10,000 for lunch meat. What makes you think we're going to get 30,000 for?
Well, this is a much better.
We don't need a gas chromatograph.
This is a much better cause.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, Marshall, we're going to let you go, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Awesome talking with you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see you in Baltimore, right?
Thanks for having us on.
I'll be in Baltimore. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to BNA 11. I fly in later that night.
That's why we have real friends there. Don't worry about it. We'll get by.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But we will be, hopefully we can catch up at a karaoke bar. I have
Justin's your guy there.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Is Justin a karaoke guy?
Find the trashiest dive bar in town. Yeah. That's where he'll be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sammy.
That's karaoke.
And I was going to go. I was going to go, but now I just changed my mind. So I'm not going anymore.
Thanks, Marshall.
All right, guys.
All right, dude. Later.
Great having you.
That was cool.
It was great. Well,
I like having that guy. I want to have him on every once in a while.
That's all
now
great
and
stuff.
Just talk
I'm
about
so
a bunch of
engaged.
shit.
It's so interesting. Yes.
It really is. Well, and it impacts exactly what we're doing. It's like the next level of homebrew.
When somebody else gets to make the mess.
Right. Exactly. We don't see, Doc. We don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah. Well,
that's the kind of work that we like here at the BN.
Less work.
Not.
All right, we're going to take a real fast break, about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do a little bit of beer news. We're going to do a little bit of Twitter game, and then that's it. We're out of here. It's The Session. We'll be right back. Hang tight.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network. With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. At the end of the night when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore, that's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out.
What?
Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love.
With love?
Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where?
Moylan's.
You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're freaking awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer.
Cheers!
Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and a Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
This is Jamel Zanisha, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com. When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Army, have you heard the latest at HopTech? Since HopTech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. HopTech, totally not sucking since 1983. Tampa Bay has become a great destination for craft beer lovers with more than 60 breweries and counting, like Cigar City, Tampa Bay, and Coppertail Brewing. One of the newest breweries is Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach. Four Stacks believes that the West Coast can't have all the fun, so while we feature West Coast beer like Stone, Ballast Point, and Green Flash on tap, we also brew hopped up ales to our liking in the West Coast style, even as they're truly Florida. Come in and see for yourself. Four Stacks hosts monthly homebrew club meetings, bottle shares, and partners with local restaurants for free food delivery while you enjoy your pint in their new tap room. Stop by Four Stacks Brewing and support the greater Tampa Bay craft beer scene at a brand new community-oriented independent brewery. Four Stacks Brewing, bringing the best of the West Coast style and attitude. Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach, Florida.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
All right, thanks for sticking with us, everyone. Excuse me. I got a ting cut in my throat. I got a ting in my throat.
Well, what would that be? Something from Adam and Eve?
It's vibrating, and I can't get it to stop. It's a good thing it's waterproof. I didn't want to tell you guys, speaking of waterproof, I don't know. Beersmith.com. If you guys are in the market for a brand new way to organize and formulate your beer recipes, and you haven't checked out Beersmith.com, you're pretty dumb. Go to Beersmith.com. It's a 21-day free trial. So dumb that you're probably adding too much black patent when you should be using roasted barley.
Right, exactly. And you can change all that right up in the whole program, because they did it wrong the first time. guess what?
You can change
really easy to change it the second time.
You can change it.
Gotcha.
So check it out. 21-day free trial, beersmith.com. You won't regret it. Brad over there works hard to make sure that you have exactly what you need to make great beer, which is information, really. You want repeatability, hit your numbers. Warren broke his headphones. He's looking at them.
These things are so broken.
Like when a child, like when you were a kid and you just like make, I don't know, you like break your favorite toy and it's in two pieces and you're looking at what you're moving your eyes from hand to hand, which has each piece in it.
I'm waiting to see if I can fix it in 30 seconds before I start crying.
Or just get another set.
I think just start crying.
Get another set.
They're actually really hard, the ear muffs. You'll be fine.
The foam part is just off.
The foam. The foam.
Can't you see the foam part is off,
the foam part. I gotcha. Hey, so you guys out there in Radio Land were hearing us talk about our trip to beer camp, where we did our slow clap.
Yeah, cool.
The Vienna Lager. Well, it's ready. So you Bay Area people.
I had it.
Tomorrow, what?
I had it.
You had it?
Yeah.
Well, how did you have it?
Wait, when did you have it?
You fart?
I was coming by Faction and...
what?
Faction won't have it.
Yeah.
Why does Faction have it?
Yeah, he's got stuff.
Wait, Roger has it?
Roger was actually there.
Roger has slow clap.
No, he didn't have it on tap or anything. He just kind of pulled stuff out from special places. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
and so he tapped an advanced.
I'm not sure if he. Okay, I'm not sure if he had yours, but I had a whole collaboration thing of all the beer camp things, and it was.
Oh, are you talking about just like the beer cramp across America?
You're thinking about the 12-pack beer.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that's not us. Yeah.
Okay, good.
We're not that cool.
This is different.
No, we're not that cool. No, we did slow clap Vienna Lager.
Okay.
That's who all was involved there? Public House,
Gotham
the Good
Club,
Hop
or whatever,
Grenade, and the Brew Network, right? Three-way.
Yeah.
And how many guys?
No, and 4 the Gotham Club apparently.
Oh, Gotham Club.
Yeah.
How many of you guys were there? 12 or so?
Something like that.
There was a bunch.
And you all got together and you developed a recipe, and they produced it.
We picked a style. They threw out a couple beer styles, and the Vienna Lager hit. And
that's a great style, man.
Yeah.
We had you worked on the malt bill, or maybe
Nate and I kind of picked from the list. They had a big 2-page list of all the malts and hops that we could choose from.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we kind of had an idea for a recipe going in. And so it was just a matter of trying to match up everything that we could and kind of improvise a little bit and work with the group.
Like where'd you take some?
They had like some leftover malt from their Oktoberfest, like some like really high quality German Pils
Just
malt.
trying to get rid of? What are you using you guys for like a...
I think so. So we use that. Well, I'm like, let's use that, dude.
Nothing wrong with that. For a base malt, right?
Yeah, we came in...
Go ahead.
We came in kind of expecting just to use just like Weirman...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like just Weirman brand malts for all of them, and they didn't have enough in stock to do the whole recipe, and so it's just like, well, but we have the leftovers, like JP said, from their fest beer, and it's like, all right, let's use that.
Oh, that sounds fine.
And then kind of we went in kind of picking.
That's what homebrewers do, right? Like, look at what you got.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. And we kind of wanted to use some new school German hops, but we didn't know what they would have, and so they had a couple. And I think we blended a couple. I don't remember.
We used Huell Melon.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So new hops.
Yeah.
New school German. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So and how many did you use that? Another one? Or did
we used a couple?
There was at least one other one. I don't remember what it was.
But would one be the signature hop that when you drink the beer, people like?
I think the Huell Melon will be the one that you'll pick out.
Yeah. So people in Bear are going to be able to try this at a lot of different places?
Well, it's a limited release because it was only on their pilot system, which I think. Yeah. So it's but anyway, so we're going to have the first Bay Area release party is at the Public House tomorrow, which is attached to the AT&T Park, or the Giants place. So we're going to watch the baseball game. Apparently they're going to score a lot of goals tomorrow or something. I don't know. But I think it's going to be there. Cool. Let's see. I'm looking at the thing now. From 5 o'clock, there'll be a pregame party from 5 to 7. And I'm sure they'll pour it until they run out. So, and apparently there's going to be a lot of other Sierra Nevada beers there as well. So if you guys are in the SF Bay Area tomorrow from 5 to 7, swing by the Public House. We're going to be there. We're all going to be there and hanging out and drinking Slow Clap, man. Here's the we threw out a bunch of stupid names, and the Slow Clap was like the kind of running joke. And I'm like, can we name this beer Slow Clap? And that was kind of it.
There was a list of things we knew that Ken Grossman would not let us.
Yeah, like Negra Nevada, which I thought was a pretty cool one.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Anyway, so here's the description.
I'm sorry, just one quick. What malt did you use? What did it make it red? Like a Vienna Lager has? What was it?
I forget.
Oh,
I don't know. Listen to the show. You were on the show. We were talking about it.
We used some light Munich.
There you go, light Munich.
I know for some color. And I think,
I'm going to be drinking the beer before I hear the show again. So I want to be when I drink it. I'm going to go.
Are you going to be tomorrow night? Are you going to be there tomorrow night?
No, we got a podcast.
We might have thrown in a little bit of what I forget what carafa they had, but they did have one of the carafas.
Dehusked.
I can't remember if it was like 2 or 3. So there is a little bit of carafa in there to redden it up as well. But just a bit of Munich and some
you don't
carafa.
have any idea how red it's going to be though until you see it.
I only saw it through the transfer
totally
from.
Different.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah. I saw it through the transfer from the lauter to the kettle. That's the only time.
We'll find out.
See it tomorrow.
We'll find out tomorrow about 5. So this is how cool the Sierra Nevada folks are. Number one. They let us call it slow clap, which is just funny. I mean, it's not offensive, so I think it's just hilarious. Yeah. So this is the write-up for the beer.
Nice.
This classic spin on a Vienna lager builds flavor like the swell of a rumbling applause, starting first with a complex, semi-sweet malt body, then with a hint of spicy and fruit hop aroma, and finally with a crisp and refreshing finish and a perfect balance that is worthy of a standing ovation.
Wow.
5.4% ABV, 24 IBUs, 12.2 Plato, Tasty, there you go. That was the beginning gravity. The ending gravity is 22.6 Plato. Doesn't make sense, does it?
No, that's higher.
They reversed that, didn't they?
No, 22 would be way too high. Yeah, 12 would be a good starting.
Color is amber. Bittering hops, German Magnum. Finishing hops, Huell Melon and Saphir. Malts were Vienna, Munich, Pilsner, and Carafa 3. Yeast was the lager yeast. So, anyway, check it out. Slow clap, baby.
And you saw that on Sierra's site? Just Google slow clap.
No, they sent the PDF out. Yeah.
Do you think their marketing team really hates having to write all of those little blurbs for all of the beer can beers?
I would, if I had to guess, which clearly I do, I think they enjoyed this one.
This was probably their favorite one, I think.
They seemed to be getting into it there.
Right. I know I would. I
they didn't
would
know
hate
to
it.
put a period in there anywhere. They just kept going on and on.
And
finally, all kinds of.
Well, it's a very small thing. Anyway, Public House, everybody, come by, check it out. It'd be cool. Hang out.
I wish I could be there.
Have a slow clap with us. Let's do some beer news, Warren.
Okay.
Where'd it go? It left.
I don't
left
know.
me.
Are we going to do it still?
Yeah, we're going to do it. But what the fuck just happened to my thing, dude?
Beer news.
Beer
you want
news.
Warren to sing a song?
Yeah, I do. Oh, here we go.
So what's new in beer?
Got it. So this was from 2 weeks ago. It's about the World Beer Cup Awards.
8 bars to music, you got something.
The World Beer Cup Awards were held recently in what is now being called the largest ever beer competition to date. Judges saw 6,500, almost 6,600, 6,596 beers from 1,907 breweries around the globe, which is a 38.5 increase from the last competition 2 years ago. The judging panel included 253 judges representing 31 countries, evaluating beers across 96 distinct beer styles. 75% of these judges were from the outside the U.S. That's an insane competition.
It's crazy. I wonder what percent of Alabama's gross national product the shipping was to get that beer there.
Right?
Yeah.
Chris Swersey, competition manager of the World Beer Cup, says, quote, judges commented throughout the week that overall beer quality continues to improve across the spectrum of world beer styles. While breweries may hold the awards, beer drinkers around the world are the true winners.
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it.
When do I get this?
We all can be winners.
The best part of the awards night is to see the amount of BN guests winning medals. No doubt they learned heavily from our vast library of amazing information and top-notch presentation. The Rare Barrel, Eagle Rock, The Brewery, Flat Tail, Marin Brewing, the list goes on, and I'm too lazy to find out any others.
Wow.
It's cool. I like watching. So we broadcast the awards like we do every other year.
Ourselves.
And it was neat seeing all these people kind of cruise through. It's basically like looking through our archives.
Nice.
All these people coming up.
In Alabama.
Huh?
I don't know.
Where was it?
Am I a story behind?
No, we're on the first story. I don't know where you are.
I thought... Never mind. I'm doing Twitter game right now.
What?
Warren just laid that out there like a big sticky
sounded like
fart.
I feel.
The World Beer Cup Awards weren't the only thing to celebrate at the Craft Brewers Conference the other week. The Smithsonian National Museum of American History announced at the Craft Brewers Conference that it will launch a 3-year initiative to collect, document, and preserve the history of brewing, craft brewers, and the beer industry in general to explore how the beverage and brewing connect to a larger theme in American history. Part of the Smithsonian Food History Project, this initiative is made possible through a donation from the Brewers Association.
Send them your Zymergy article.
I think I will. I think I will. That's not a bad idea.
I think you should. Tell them you put that on the timeline.
You better
then they'll appreciate what magnificent piece it was.
I still have 100 copies. So
yeah,
and
sit on those.
You get it in there before that wooden beer book.
Yeah.
So that way they know what came first.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, I'm sure the book is great, but fuck that book. I didn't write it.
No.
And I've been on here for 11 years saying I will write the foreword to any book, and nobody has approached me with this.
Yeah. And if we wrote down everything you said, it would at least fill a book that big.
It would definitely
in the last
do that.
10 years.
This team will explore the unique connections between brewing and broader themes, including advertising, agriculture, industry, innovation, business, and community life. More information about the initiative and beer history at the museum is available at, look up Smithsonian, whatever.
Just news.
Just news, man. Who cares? No one cares. No one gives a shit. No
I
one's
give a
listening
shit.
anymore.
Come on.
You got the headline and a couple more sentences. You don't need the end.
It's fine, right?
I'm totally into this.
Did we talk about this? Russian River Brewing is finally going to expand again.
Oh, it's official now?
It's official. The company recently purchased a 16-acre plot of land in Windsor, which is about the size of the new Star Wars land going on in Disneyland. Just north of Santa Rosa, after an earlier site near Shiloh Road west of Highway 101 in Windsor fell through because of environmental issues. Whatever that means. The proposed 85,000-square-foot facility resembles similar projects, such as Sierra Nevada Brewing Company's Tap Room in Chico and Stone Brewing Company's San Diego Bistro and Garden. They are destination breweries for tourists as opposed to places for locals to stop in for a quick drink after work. Yes, tasty.
That's interesting. So I was going to ask. So I was wondering, well, what format is it going to be? Is it going to be like a roughed out tap room, kind of a big hall, or is it going to, like at for Stone? Or
it sounds like it's going to be kind of stylized,
or is
like
Sierra
that.
Nevada like that, well built out and kind of
well, and they've got 14 acres left after, like they're going to make a 2-acre building. They've got 14 left. Are they going to grow hops? What else are they going to do?
Maybe he's going to do
there?
like like the old Sierra Nevada thing.
What'd you say, Doc?
Cage fighting. So
Oh yeah.
When Pliny comes out.
If you want to wait in line for Pliny the Younger, you have the cage fight.
Oh, what if they turn the other 14 acres into just like the maze of lines for Pliny the Younger?
They kind of hint at that.
Did you read the whole thing? Because I think it's like
I did.
Self-guided tour.
Yeah,
that's one of the things they mentioned is going to be there.
Plans for the Russian River Brew Pub include self-guided tours by appointment and guided tours by appointment and a self-guided tour along an elevated walkway that follows the brewing process down to the center of the brewery. The proposed structure would house a tasting room with growler fills and a sampling of beers, a gift shop with its own entrance, of course, and a brew pub and restaurant that will seat 175 guests. Ample outdoor seating is planned, and the customers would be able to walk through a hop yard, there you go, and a kitchen garden. It's like as you grow your own lettuce or whatever. I don't know.
Is that what that means?
I guess. There are also plans for a pet-friendly area, whatever, and benches set into the landscape for those strange folks who feel the need to stand in line for beer. So they're going to address some of those lines.
Did the article say that?
No, I wrote that. I added that last part.
All right, so when, roll the time forward to a Pliny the Younger release into the future.
Yeah.
Where's that going to be at?
I would imagine here because they have tons of space.
Still at the pub in Santa Rosa.
Or both. Maybe they'll split it.
Really? They
should split it.
I do know that they really feel bad for the regulars in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
They've been going for years.
Yeah.
Well, it's turned into like a shit show, even like on a lot of weekdays.
Yeah.
Right.
They can't sit in their regular area of the bar because there's like all these tourists there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I haven't been there in years because I think I tried to go 3 times, in Succinction, and I can't. It was an hour and a half to wait. Yeah. And I just don't want to do it. It's great beer. It's great food. It's totally worth it. I'd recommend everybody going, but you're waiting, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we should have Vinny on.
We need to have him on again. Yeah, totally.
I think I see him all the time. Not all the time. When I do see him, he goes, "I need to get on your show." Like he's got a lot to say.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let me know. We'll book him. And last but not least for the beer, well, actually, it's not last. It's second to last.
Please.
Hipsters everywhere are crying out in pain. Doc, it's 8:30. Remember the times when we were to like 10:30?
Give me something exciting.
You're all right. This is exciting. For
Okay, all right, fine.
Usually we're just getting going.
Hipsters everywhere are crying out in pain, or they might be. For soon, the iconic thirst quencher of the bearded race may be no more. Maybe. Look, I can't make heads nor tails out of this article about Miller Coors trying to back out of a deal they made with Pabst Brewing to continue to brew PBR through 2020. Near as I can figure, Pabst is going to open a craft brewery at the site of their old plant, much of which has been converted to apartments and offices, which even has a hotel, apparently. The company will use the brewery to experiment with Pabst recipes for discontinued brands, such as Old Tankard Ale, Cloister Beer, and other beers made before Prohibition. There are old recipes in the Pabst archives at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee's Golda Meir Library and at the Milwaukee County Historical Society. Miller Coors announced it would be closing its Eden, North Carolina brewery, which Pabst says is the main Miller Coors facility for brewing Pabst products, and told Pabst it would no longer have sufficient beer production capacity to meet the agreement. The only way to continue the deal, Pabst claims it was told, was if the fee paid to Miller Coors after 2020 nearly tripled. Miller Coors claims to be making no money on brewing Pabst products, a claim which Pabst denies. So it sounds like Miller Coors is like, well, we're going to sell this product, or sell this brewery. We can't make your product unless you pay us triple. Oh. So they're getting sued.
Why are they getting?
Because they had an agreement.
Oh, they're backing out of.
They're backing out of an agreement, and then saying, oh well, otherwise we're going to back out unless you pay us triple of what you said you were going to pay. But yeah, I don't know. All
right.
Very confusing to me. Last but not least, Doc.
Yay.
Shit. That thing didn't refresh.
Oh. What does that mean?
So it might have already happened.
Yeah. This is old news. No, what the fart, dude? Come on. Fox 5 San Diego. There we go. Stone Brewing Company to open a tap room in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to Napa.
Right.
Stone Brewing plans to open a new taproom and brewery in a place better known for their wine, the company announced Friday. They will soon begin renovations on the 10,000 square foot historic Borio building in downtown Napa. The historic Borio building is the perfect space for us to put down our roots in Napa, said Greg Koch, Stone Brewing CEO and co-founder. This is great. Not only is it literally made of stone, it's one of downtown's most iconic links to the 19th century and a landmark that's been vacant for the past 15 years. Stone's newest outpost, located on 3rd and SoCal Avenue, will include a pilot brewing system, a dining experience, not just serving dinner, but a dining experience, growler fills.
That means there's a happy ending.
Right, and Stone merchandise. There are also plans for an outdoor seating area complete with communal tables, fire pits, and views overlooking downtown Napa. Anticipated opening
across the river.
Yeah, anticipated opening in 2017. Stone Brewing Taproom Napa joins 2 expansion projects already underway for the growing community. Blah blah blah.
There you go.
That's beer news.
Another brewery to go in.
Another brewery. You know, I like the Stone people.
So should we ask the other local breweries like Downtown Joe's and everybody? What do you think about a big brewery moving in? Do you think it's better for the beer community?
It seems like Stone is kind of becoming what they have been rallying against.
Yeah.
Which is like big, giant beer conglomerates making the same beers over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, Berlin, Asheville, where else are they? Is it Asheville or are they in Virginia?
Richmond.
Richmond, yeah. Berlin, Richmond, San Diego, now Napa. It seems
maybe
like it
two
seems
or
like
three locations.
It seems like they're growing.
Oh yeah, they've got a bunch down there.
Like a lot. I don't know. I mean, look, they're in the business of selling beer, and that's great.
Oh yeah,
it just seems weird to me.
That's their MO. Yeah, which is fine.
Totally fine. Definitely not slant. Please don't send me. Please don't send me feedback emails about how like I'm stupid and you don't understand commerce and whatever.
You hate breweries growing.
Did you see what was trending yesterday about Chris Black having a problem with Oscar Blues?
I did, and I read he Chris Black, owner of the Falling Rock Tap House in Denver, which is an amazing place. If you're ever in Denver, please stop by and pinch his nipples for us. Yeah, he rambled. He wrote an open letter to Oscar Blues folks, and he
drew a line in the sand.
Well, and tell me what it was about, because I think it was about.
I think it was okay as long as he doesn't mind breweries having tap rooms, but when they come in and they also have other beers besides their own, he considers that as
yeah, that was it. So Oscar Blues, they have a tap room, and then they're starting to sell other beers as well, and he considers that competition.
Because then they're essentially just another beer bar.
Beer bar.
Not just serving their own beer.
Yeah. And he would argue, like, well, I've been promoting and selling your beers for years and years. Now this is what you think, why would I want to buy any more of them?
Yeah.
He's cut off,
Well, what I don't understand is in that same rant, he was saying that he doesn't mind competition and he doesn't mind other beer bars, and he's worked with other beer bars.
As long as it's a level playing field.
So if it's just another beer bar, what does it matter?
Well, because you can.
Well, but
I don't know. I'm not saying he's wrong.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a good point.
That does make sense, but there's a difference between doing, like, coordinating an event with another beer bar versus serving another beer bar's product. Because then people.
So you're saying that people would see the Oscar Blues handle and then associate that with the beer bar instead of the brewery?
Right. Well,
like Falling Rock, let's say.
Well, if you're in the same market, you can go there instead, right? You could.
Right.
It's just another. You're essentially promoting another place that has another destination.
Yeah, which is like back to the original article about Downtown Joe's. I would venture to say that once the Stone place opens up in 2017, I'll be at Downtown Joe's more than ever because it'll be just another reason to go there.
Mm-hmm. You get two stops instead of one.
Exactly.
Okay. I guess I don't look at life like that. Not that it's wrong.
Well,
but
the locals were as convenient to do that, and they are really literally like 3 blocks from each other.
Yeah.
It's across the river, but they're like both really close to it. And then at the same time, the Fieldworks opening up a tap room up there.
Fieldwork in Berkeley is opening up. Oh, wow.
In October. It's like 6 blocks from the Stone place. Or is it even listening?
Huh. I think it's. You were saying at the Oxbow Market.
Yeah.
Was that you or was that Jay?
No, next to, where Fatty Calf is
I think
there?
it was Jay. Yeah.
Right next to Fatty Calf.
Yeah, it's at the Oxbow Market. There's a bunch of different coffee roasting in there. They have oysters, like Hog Island oysters and shit like that in there. So it's a cool spot.
Cool spot for a craft beer bar, right?
Yeah.
Taking over wine
Just their
country.
beers are. Just their beers only. They're not going to be having guest steps.
Craziness. All right, Warren, what was the Twitter game again, my friend?
It was, now that Justin's got all his free time, he's feeling like he needs to give back. And so he's going to start a charity.
Charity should be called Jason Petros Works Too Hard, and I'm going to give him money. That's my contribution, so I'm going to put that in there.
Okay. All right.
That's one.
All right.
And let's vote on.
There's nobody voting.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah, no votes.
No votes.
We got Phil saying the Crosley Foundation, offering augmentation to enhance needy strippers around the world.
Okay.
Tony says he's promoting women's happiness with his charity Sit on Justin's Face.
Okay.
Jim with a Y says Single Mom Support Network.
A lot of strippers.
Yeah. Oh, single moms are strippers?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Good part.
Austin says it doesn't matter. Over time, he'll just give up on it and pick up smoking.
Who was that, Austin?
Austin, yeah. Ryan says, who's Justin? Matt HH says he still doesn't have money, so the charity would be for him. It's called Beers. Brewers eliminating encumbrances for radio spokespeople.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Complex.
Acronyms.
Yeah.
You thought that one was complex. Here comes Eric with justice under strict tyranny inside nations. Basically, it just spells Justin, and he gets all the money.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yeah.
It signs his checks.
Yeah. And then lastly, John says anyone where he gets paid enough as a board member that he doesn't bitch about not having money anymore.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That's a good gig. I think he might get that. He's
well,
kind of a Charlie Manson type, He gets control of people's minds.
Yeah.
Look at us.
He'll be president in no time.
Right. Well, the only two that really stuck out on me was Tony, something about sitting on faces, and then Austin. It doesn't matter; he's just going to end up smoking. Anybody else want to add any other ones?
That's not.
Yeah. Those are fine.
Those are fine. Yes. Okay. So we have Tony. Do me a favor. Read those two again.
Okay. Tony said he's promoting women's happiness with his charity, sitting on Justin's face.
Okay.
And you said Austin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Over time, he would give up on it and pick up smoking.
I'm voting for Austin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Oh,
Beth
wow.
gets 2 votes, and she's giving them both to Austin. Austin's the winner.
At Agro Brew.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Good job, Austin.
You did it.
Just because I would never, ever, ever vote for anything bleh.
Yeah, right, Beth?
Yeah. You
No, I feel ill.
You don't like women being happy?
You remember a minute, the boss?
No, I want
Wanna
women
get
to be
even?
happy. That's not the path to happiness.
I saw some commercial where it's like some chick who's talking about herself, and she calls herself an advocate for women. And I'm like, who? What does that even mean? Who is? What's the opposite of being an advocate?
Who's not?
Right. That's my point.
I don't like women.
Right. Who's the opposite? Well, what's the opposite of an advocate? Someone who wants to like restrict women?
Yeah.
Take the vote away from them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
The Middle East.
I can't guess she's anti-Middle East.
Oh.
Anyway,
because she's an advocate.
No,
can't have that. And I said, oh,
don't go there.
No,
don't go there. All right, Warren, are you ready to get us out of here?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thank you to Marshall from Brulosophy.com. Check him out if you guys are interested in what's going on in the homebrew world. Again, come to the Slow Clap event tomorrow at the Public House, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget, tickets are still on sale for not only BNA 11 at bna11.eventbrite.com, but also for the AHA for HomebrewCon. Go to homebrewcon.com. Come hang out with us in beautiful Baltimore. Here, it's kind of right by the water. It's supposed to be really cool. Jay toured the place a couple weeks ago when he was out there looking at the BNA 11 event. So it should be really cool, man. I'm stoked about it. Also, check out other shows. We have Dr. Homebrew, of course. We have Brewing with Style. And everything else really doesn't matter. Warren, you ready?
Still ready.
Still.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Marshall from Brulosophy Skyped in and was rocking our world and crushing our self-confidence with his experiments. Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts and go to earsuppodcast.com. As JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney. Go check out Moscow's Hop Cartoons over at hoplifestore.com. And get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew info. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDowell at Tasty McD, JP at Major Jip, and Warren is adding to the noise over at Another Beardy. Tonight's show was produced and hosted by JP, I think, and Bevo was triangulating. Be sure to follow the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the race. JP